All right, we're live finally. Jesus. All right, this is hopefully gonna work. Is your phone too big for this thing?
You take out a case, but it shouldn't be. It's a beefy phone, I guess.
Hey everyone. Oh, jeez. Christ, Dave.
Staring at the ceiling. Enjoy the show. We're here. We're definitely
Hey
here.
everyone. Sorry, I was not on Dave's Wi-Fi, and then it kicked us off, and that's my fault, and everything's my fault.
Blame Sean.
Don't worry about it. Sorry about this. Darnold goes 3 to the Jets, where he should be good now. There we go. I feel like this is too high.
On an amazing angle.
I feel like this is too high.
That's fine.
Like too.
You're good. Don't worry about
Hey everyone. Sean here.
it. Knocking shit over.
Still being a dummy. Professionalism.
And
It's
now you're changing your mind again?
my key. Oh, there we go.
I think that's fine.
We'll just do it.
You
Okay.
might want to just
What?
get the angle right. I mean, we're on a wicked good angle there.
It's fine.
Whatever.
What angle is it?
I mean,
They can see our face.
Sure.
Hey everyone. Again, sorry about this. This is way too bright in my face.
Yep.
Hey everyone. This is we're doing it. We're doing it live.
We're good.
We're gonna do it live. Fuck it. Thank you, Dave. We're ready. Darnold goes through to the Jets. Dave, reaction for the Jets and Darnold falling to 3.
I'm okay with it. Honestly, I think it's a solid pick for the Jets. I like him. He is the most ready quarterback in my mind. I like Rosen a smidge less, just a smidge less. I think Darnold's going to come in and be able to actually succeed at the NFL level. He's got the body. He's got great arm strength. He's got solid, competency in the pocket. Like, there's nothing to hate about this guy, really.
He's got great hair too. I mean, like the hair is impressive.
Yes. I want to give you credit for that because I didn't even think about that because now he's wearing that ugly-ass Jets hat.
Jets, Jets.
I know.
Cleveland on the clock. They already went Baker and a shocker. 4. Where do the Browns go here at 4?
I mean, I want to say Chubb. I want to lean towards Chubb. I think that would be awesome. You get your anchor of your offense, get the anchor of the defense. I mean, you've drafted okay defensively last year, so I'd like to say that, like, keep adding on to it. Chubb's super dynamic. Like, I think that guy is going to be a stud.
Well, and having Chubb next to Myles Garrett is going to be disgusting.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, you just locked that shit up.
People saying it's a Freeney Mathis combo 2.0. We'll go to the comments now. Demon King 324 saying it's fine. Thank you for that, Demon King. Jamie says, could you see the Dolphins taking the quarterback from Wyoming, being Josh Allen, if he's there?
Yes, I could, if he falls.
I think if any of the top 4 quarterbacks, being Rosen, Allen, Baker and Baker and Sam are gone. So if either of the Joshes do fall to Miami, I 100% seeing them going with the top 4 quarterback. If Lamar is there, I'm not 100% sure. They might stick with Tannehill because they don't want another project. And also with Tannehill's health might be questionable to stay with him because if he does get injured, you're going to have to rely on Lamar Jackson, and he needs a couple years to wait here. Amazement 717 says Browns go Chubb. Watch out if the Bills move up for Rosen. I was thinking about that. I mocked that for the Bills and Browns to switch. Browns still playing Moneyball, go down to 12. Bills jump the Broncos, so they don't have a chance to take Allen or Rosen. I know that they've been talking that it isn't sure that they're going to be taking quarterback. They might even move down themselves, the Broncos. But I do think it's definitely a possibility that the Bills and Browns might be talking, might throw out the ability to move up, because we talked about the Bills possibly moving up to 5 or even 2 to get their guy. If the Bills and Browns can work out a deal, I could totally see the ability for a trade happening. We're not looking on social media, so we don't know if anyone is broken.
We're trying to keep away from the leaks right now.
Exactly. Christian Isorda, our buddy, our patron, says, first like, Dez to NYG now. I don't think it's going to happen.
That seems like a lot of controversy to bring in. You still got no. Like, it would be amazing to watch the dumpster fire that is, but no. There's no.
CJ Dombrowski said, thoughts so far with what happened? I think the Giants should have picked a QB. So do you like the Baker pick for the Browns?
I think it sort of sends a message about their commitment to Eli Manning right now. If they went QB at 2, you knew Eli was done at the end of this year at the latest, pretty much, unless he goes on a miracle run. Now it leads to the question of, okay, if they go QB in round 2, 3, 4, later on in the draft, that's fine. You can groom someone, and he's not on that hot clock. Right now, you're adding someone who can make an instant impact in Saquon. I think it's a strong message that they're buying in on Eli right now.
Yeah, and I think with the Baker pick at 1, I usually don't like bashing people. If you like your guy, go and take your guy.
Yes, thank you.
I just would never be comfortable taking a player like that number 1 overall. Undersized, and also I'm not a fan of his maturity. I don't think he's mature yet.
He's not mature enough to throw a football.
But to stay on the field,
I'm sorry.
and even then, it's something that having a player like that, it will rile up the other team. And him being undersized, it's gonna put a target on his back. And having to be the guy now for Cleveland, I just feel like that's a toxic pick for an organization that needs someone to really clean it out. And I thought Sam Darnold was that kid. Again, I'm not bashing Baker's ability as a quarterback.
Darnold is like the squeaky clean guy, though. That's the thing. And I think Baker lives up to the Browns a little bit more. He's kind of the underdog. He's undersized. He's got an attitude. He's not afraid to show it off. He tells people what he thinks. Like, I like everything about it because he can back it up with his play. If he couldn't, that would be a different thing. Like, the only thing that I've seen about him that I don't like is that he gets a little finicky in the pocket way too early and causes his own problems. He runs into danger at times just because he feels like the clock is moving already. So we'll see. Here we go. Pick 4.
We will go to your guys' comments right after this. Roger Goodell, my favorite person in the world.
And he got booed so hard off the opening.
Did.
He tried to throw shade and be like, "You're booing the Dallas Cowboys." Oh!
And they go Denzel Ward at 4.
Whoa.
So going out and getting a corner, it makes sense in some ways. You do have Myles Garrett already on that line. You have Jamie Collins. You have also on the other side, I'm blanking on his name. I rushed over here, so I'm not even thinking of a Browns players right now. But you do already have a pretty decent up front and a front 7.
Yeah.
Now bringing in Denzel Ward, the top corner in this class. It's a pretty nice addition, and now you got the 2 top cornerbacks from last year and this year both coming out of Ohio State.
This is kind of a shocker because Denzel Ward was someone who we knew was extremely talented, but no one had him mocked going above guys like Bradley Chubb, above guys, he's in the same range as Minka Fitzpatrick. Minka potentially might be a better player, but doesn't fit exactly in one spot, so there's questions. But Denzel, wow, Denzel Ward going 4. I know he can be a lockdown corner. I know he can play one-on-one with damn near anyone on the outside. But my question is just is this too high? Do you feel like the Browns went and said we don't care what the orders, we're taking our guys now at 1 and 4?
Well,
it seems like both are potential reaches early.
I think Baker might be a reach, but again, you're drafting a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So you need to be okay with the guy that you're taking at that position. So if you believe Baker's the guy, then go out and take him. So again, I don't like Baker as a quarterback, as my future quarterback for the Browns.
Right.
I don't like Baker as a quarterback for the Browns. Let me clarify that. I don't like Baker as a quarterback for the Browns. And with Denzel Ward, again, I think that you're looking at fit here and needs, and you need secondary help. You get rid of Jason McCourty. Justin Gilbert did not pan out in Cleveland.
No.
You need cornerback help. I don't think it's too crazy of a reach. Denzel Ward was mocked as high as 5 even to the Broncos. So this is just one spot earlier. Denzel's not too crazy high, and especially he fits a position at that corner spot. Minka, you're not sure whether he's going to be a safety or a corner hybrid, if he can even play the outside in the NFL. Also, Denzel Ward, people worry about his size, but you got to look at the number 1 weapon in the AFC South. It's Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown, the smaller guy, around that 5'10", 5'11" range. Let's go in here.
Comments.
Blowing up. Let's go to the front here. DJ, our thoughts on what happened. I'm surprised the Giants didn't take a QB.
Yeah.
I'm not too shocked. Again, I think they believe in Eli, and Eli, again, only 37 years old.
Ride it out, yeah.
You Bears fans ready for either Nelson or Roquan? If Quentin Nelson falls, I will be happy. But I'm really nervous now about this Colts and this Denver pick for that one.
Set the tone really hard.
Chappie Wilkerson said Eli was done last year. He also had no help at all. No OBJ, no Sterling Shepard, no Brandon Marshall, no running back.
Offensive line.
His number 1 weapon was Evan Ingram. Baker has an attitude and toughness for Cleveland, but not size like Big Ben and Flacco in that division.
Fair. Again, it's similar lines, but yeah, the size is always going to be a question.
Dez is a bum from Demon King 324. He's slow, injured. I don't know what he can bring. I like him on a 1-year deal for a team that has the cap space, but I would not sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
CJ Dombrowski, again, Browns have to pick Chubb here. Whoops. Amazement 717 said Baker isn't a cold-weather QB. That's true. We haven't seen him in that atmosphere.
I wouldn't write him off. It's not like he's, someone who has a weak arm. Like, usually it's those guys who are... they always do the knock on the guys who are efficient passers, who don't have a ton of arm strength. I have no question that he can whip the ball. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem just because he's played in the South the majority of his time.
And he's from the South too, from Austin, Texas. I think one thing too is he's dealt with adversity, and I think getting over cold is something that he'll probably have to work through. But also, I don't know what the expectations is. They have Tyrod Taylor. Is Baker going to sit for a year?
Yeah.
That's one thing that's got to be thrown out there. Christian Ayala said Browns fucked up. Should have drafted Sam Darnold. I don't disagree there. Jamie coming back. The Browns could have gotten Baker at 4, in my opinion. Definitely possible, but I heard the Jets loved Baker. So if they're going QB, Darnold's off the board. You already have. They're pretty much going to take Baker at 3. And then also, if you go a Saquon at number 1 or a Denzel Ward at number 1, Denzel Ward's a huge reach. They might still take Baker at 3, and you're just left taking Darnold at 4.
Who jumps up with that Giants pick then?
Exactly.
That's an easy trade bait.
Chubb to the Browns. Nope. Sorry, Christian. Demon King said, wow, better than Josh Allen. Wow, Ward. A lot of wow Wards. Well, damn. Reach. Denzel Ward climbed so high.
Thank you.
Wanted him for Dub Bears. Things shaping up nicely for my Bears. Chubb is going to be the next Dennis Smith Jr. of the draft.
What?
Come on, Chubb, fall to my Bucks at 7. I would be shocked if he falls past
oh my God, though.
Indianapolis or Denver.
He seems like a perfect fit for Denver right now.
Vaughn and Chubb possibly be disgusting.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. Pick is in now. I just want to get caught up to everyone. I'm afraid the Colts will get him. I don't know what Denver's going to do here. They need offensive line help. They've needed offensive line help. That offensive line has not been good in a while. Wouldn't be shocked if they go Quentin Nelson here. But then again, hell, maybe they're really desperate. They want like a Calvin Ridley, or maybe they think Minka Fitzpatrick helps their secondary more, and maybe they're looking at a Denzel Ward at that slot at 5. Come on, Chubb, fall to 32 for the Eagles, because one of the ends are going to jail.
Jesus Christ.
Amazement 717 said Browns probably got scared of the Jets. We'll get Baker, so that's why they got him at 1. I don't disagree with that. Amazement. Chappie Wilkerson, Fitzpatrick or Smith at 8 if Nelson's available.
Yeah, I would love Roquan.
I'm not too positive on him. We'll talk about him.
Right, yeah.
Christian Ayala, come on, Nelson, fall to the Bears. LV Panthers 31. I think that's Trevor. Hello, friends. Been a while since I've watched you. What's up, Trev? Playboy Jordy, Baker was the right pick. Chappie Wilkerson, I get it, but he's on the wrong side of the hill, and they're shopping OBJ, Eek. Daniel Reagan, our buddy from Ireland. Who's the better fit for the Bills, Rosen or Allen? Quickly.
Rosen.
All right. Demon King, Chubb to the Broncos will be nasty. Denver's about to shake after they draft Josh Rosen. Someone's got to keep Keenum upright to throw his 180 and 1 and 2. And Demon King, that comparison of Smith Jr. and Chubb was both that they were praised and fell below where they should have fell. We mocked Dennis Smith Jr. to where he went, so I mean that wasn't too big of a fall.
Yeah.
He also had injury issues with his ACL. So
who knew that he had like 6 ACLs though?
Yeah.
That's unaccounted for.
Definitely keep the chat going. We'll be talking to you guys we got 35 people in here. What is up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Also, don't forget to throw us a like. We got 3 so far. We love that you guys are here. And now a child in a wheelchair is going to make the selection for Denver.
It's like
Bradley Chubb.
There
we go. Bradley Chubb is now a monster duo between Von Miller and Bradley Chubb on that front 7 on those edges for the Denver Broncos. You got to be ecstatic if you're Denver with this pick.
He is a freak of nature coming off that edge. I love what he brings. He has a hawk he just has instinctual speed getting to that quarterback right off the edge. I love it. He can go out and cover. He can do pretty much damn near anything you want him to do right now. I think the pressure that they're going to be able to push on that front 4 though, that is going to be something special.
And Shefty coming out and saying that the Broncos were shopping that pick. And they ultimately go with Bradley Chubb. Do you think that was the right choice?
It depends on the price tag. I mean, if the Bills were trying to offer one of theirs and one of something else, maybe I wouldn't lean towards that. I mean,
I don't think the Bills move up unless they give up both first. So I think that would probably be the price.
If they couldn't get both first, I could see why. I think Bradley Chubb's going to be like legit defensive rookie of the year. I think that he can come in and be just a stud Pro Bowler for the next decade.
Well, and I think he would have been I think he would have been a Pro Bowler and a stud no matter where he went. But now giving him Von Miller on the opposite side is one of the scariest duos. The possibly scariest duo I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's what I want to talk, because as soon as you have one great pass rusher, teams can kind of nullify that by adding in an extra guy to block for him. Mm-hmm. You can double guys up. But when you have an elite pass rush on one side and then another one on the other side, how do you solve that problem? Like, you're going to lose. You can't guard both of those guys and keep your quarterback safe at the same time. So I think this is just an amazing pick, and he's going to benefit massively from learning under someone like Von Miller, who has just
And the thing is, Chubb doesn't need a lot of work. The kid's
No.
already NFL ready. So absolutely insane.
It's terrifying. That Broncos team, I love it.
All right, pick is in for Indy. Let's get back to the chat real quick. Baker was just trying to catch up where we were. Chubb to the Broncos. MCGA, make Chicago great again, says Shappy. When will we see the first trade, Dave, real quick?
It will be, probably. Well, I bet you it'll be like 9.
San
I
Francisco?
think San Francisco bounces back.
I know people are going to hate
a lot
this.
of things.
I know people are going to hate this, especially because we have a very Chicago-populated live stream right now. Chicago moving back at 8. I think they'll slide back to 12. I think it's going to be a great move, though. I honestly think they can get a guy of need. If Quentin Nelson is not there, Bears can trade back. I think that would be the move for the Bears. Since Chubb went off at 5, I feel like Nelson should go at 6. Definitely a high possibility unless they want to address their defense and their terrible secondary with a guy like Derwin James or Minka Fitzpatrick.
Derwin, he's climbing too.
Chappie says a trade down looks likely for Chicago now. Boom. Amazement says Bears need Nelson badly.
We do.
Daniel O'Regan said Denver are in the playoff contention after getting Keenum Chubb. Ugh. They still don't have a run game. They didn't address their offensive line. They also got rid of Talib.
Yeah. You got picks later. I'm not saying this one guy got you into the playoffs, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And obviously, if you believe that last year was more of an anomaly, that you guys are a better team as a whole moving forward, I honestly believe they're probably right in that hunt, though. I think they're on the outside looking in at the moment.
I think it depends on their health. Let's see. Jamie says because the Dolphins trade back into the first round of where they trade Tannehill. They're saying that. So Jamie's asking if they trade Tannehill, could they get back in the first round? I don't know if Tannehill, who will entice Tannehill enough, because usually those teams later in the draft don't need a quarterback. And really none of those teams have a need for Ryan Tannehill right now. So I doubt that he'll get moved.
I can't see them giving up their safety valve.
Goodell announcing the pick. Colts select at 6th overall. Quentin Nelson, guard out of Notre Dame, a fantastic pick for Indianapolis. Let's check up. Chappie says 12 personnel and double chip. Amazement. Will another running back go tonight? Yes, Darius Geis. Christian Isorda, hashtag trade down for the Bears. And Demon Kick, nice pick for the Colts. 100% agree. Quentin Nelson.
You might be right now.
Saquon Barkley, Quentin Nelson, Bradley Chubb were for sure, stars in this draft. And they're all off the board. Chicago, I could totally see them moving down and addressing more needs, especially giving up that 3rd round pick to move up to get Mitch. They already got the biggest need in that franchise, which was a franchise quarterback.
Absolutely.
Now not having the ability to get a guy like Quentin Nelson, who's a franchise guy, to protect that quarterback, a guy to pair with Leonard Floyd and Bradley Chubb, or even a guy to, you really need Saquon. So Saquon wasn't a need for Chicago.
No.
But I totally see Chicago moving down now. This is going to have massive ripple effects. The Colts, though, I mean, it's an offensive lineman. There's not much to say about him. You're going to protect Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's been banged up. He hasn't been the same Andrew Luck, but hopefully when he gets back on the field, we'll see that great quarterback that we saw well before he was injured, and Quentin Nelson's just going to make sure he stays healthy on the field.
What a bum. I just like Andrew Luck. I know he's been injured. I know he's throwing Nerf footballs right now. But it's the right pick for this Colts team. Like you said, you need to protect your franchise quarterback in Luck. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think that at this point, I'm concerned with Andrew Luck's longevity. Like, career-wise, with the amount of injuries he's had early on in his career, the amount of hits he's taken is accelerated the time frame. It just concerns me a lot, but love the pick. I think it's an ideal fit for them.
Buffalo trading up to Tampa to number 7. So Buffalo's going up to 7. They are going to make a move for one of the Joshes, either Rosen or Allen. Tampa is still on the clock, but Shefty just tweeted it out. So Buffalo is going to be picking. Let's catch up here. Maybe Luck will be able to stay up right now from Jamie. Yes, of course. Yep. Nonama said Tampa Bay to Derwin. No, they're moving back. Chappie, can Nelson do Mr. Miyagi things for Luck's shoulder? Not sure how good of a therapist he is. Demon King, well, this means they must have certainty that Luck will be back. I 100% believe they do. And also, Jacoby Brissett can still start games for them. I believe in Jacoby Brissett. Chappie Wilkerson said still no run game, though. Deep running back draft. They have picks later where they can get a guy like Ronald Jones, Josh Adams, pair him with Quentin Nelson, the Notre Dame running back. Even Justin Jackson from Northwestern, the running back. There's a lot of great running backs deep in this draft. Both guys from Georgia, Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb. Definitely guys that Indianapolis will be looking for. And also, C.J. Anderson, still a free agent, so they can go out and
running back
C.J.
is a
Anderson.
plug-and-fill position. I really don't think that is like a critical need of them right now.
Look at the Eagles and Patriots. Running back by committee.
Yes.
3 running backs there. Let's see. No name FML. No name FML. I'm illiterate.
Nice.
No name FML said Bills should take Allen, cold weather guy. I'm sick of the cold weather guy. If I am the Bills right now, you want a franchise quarterback, it's Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen is the best quarterback in this draft. Buffalo. I'm not advocating for you to take him because I want the Patriots to get him because he is the heir apparent to Tom Brady. Josh Rosen has the mindset, the ability. The only thing that is not on Josh Rosen's side is his durability. But if you have enough of an offensive line to protect that quarterback, it's going to be fireworks from Josh Rosen. He's the best quarterback in this draft in my mind. I don't understand why he wasn't taken already. I think the only reason why people are afraid by his personality, people are afraid by his durability. But if you're going to be a quarterback in the NFL, you have to have a personality like Josh Rosen. It's different from Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield has been in trouble and Baker Mayfield lacks maturity. Josh Rosen has a very brash personality. I think those are 2 different things that people mistake.
Preach.
Amazement said, come on, Derwin, he gone. Chappie Wilkerson, Dan, welcome to Chicago. Minka Fitzpatrick, now that Buffalo traded Tampa Bay.
Ooh.
Not sure, because you look at that safety position, Eddie Jackson's a free safety. Minka would be a free safety. I really loved what Eddie Jackson brought to the Bears, and also Minka would be more of a nickel. It would be a fit there, but I think going up to get a nickel corner at 7 might be a little bit of a stretch there. I could totally see them going Derwin James, the Bears at 8.
Yeah, I don't know. Minka, I think, is more of a he fits wherever you put him kind of role. Mm-hmm. I think he can crowd the box. He can play back in the secondary. I just think that he's such a unique skill set that he's worth the pick regardless of if you don't have an opening for him right away. What are you about to drop on me?
So, Bills trading 2 second-round picks to move up to Buck spot. So they might have switched the 12th and 7th. So Bills might still hold on to their 22nd pick. We're gonna look up unless they put the details up here because they got Morton Adam on the screen.
Yep. I'm excited though. I really hope they don't go with Jalen. I really don't like him. I think that he is. It's just how much can you fall in love with a person's body and his potential? It just screams Blake Bortles to me all over again.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
He's a big, strong thrower. He has all of the physical tools required. He underperformed a bit in college, but everybody's giving him the excuse of, well, look what was around him. Look at the level of competition. I don't know. I see similarities. I don't think it's a spot-on comparison. It just reminds me of it.
All right, let's see. It just says Bills acquire 7th overall pick from Buccaneers. If you guys have the
details, drop it in the
details,
comments.
Yeah. Let's see. Bills getting 7th. Let's see. Where were we? Josh Rosen is going to the Bills. Holy shit. I'd love it. Colin McSherry. Amazement 717. Can we get Derwin in the middle of the first? I think at 12 he's definitely possible of being there. San Francisco might want to make a play for him. Oakland's a possibility. But it depends on who the Bears take. It would definitely open up. Also, Roquan Smith might be there. Tremaine Edmonds. People fall in love with that potential. I think it's definitely possible that if the Bucs did pick up that 12th pick, that Derwin James could still be there for the Bucs at that spot. Christian said, "Preach, Sean." Booyah. Chappie Wilkerson said, "Jackson and him already have played together." Yes, they did back in Alabama, but because Mick has been playing since his freshman year, but it's different in the NFL. Different schemes, different play styles. And I know Alabama is a very pro-similar defense, but I wouldn't be comfortable with playing Minka at that strong safety or even Eddie Jackson at that strong safety.
We'll see.
Bills take Josh Allen from Wyoming. So the highest ever taken Wyoming prospect before was, I think, 16th overall, is now Josh Allen at 7 after the controversy from a little bit earlier today.
Didn't seem to hurt him
with his racist tweets from about 7 years ago. We've all said stupid stuff when we were young kids.
Yeah.
Hopefully it wasn't anything truly disparaging. It was just something that was more actual quoting songs. It seems like he's matured from that. But Josh Allen is now the pick at 7. Bears are on the clock for all you Bears fans. I think it's absolutely horrible that they are taking Josh Allen. I think he has the biggest bust potential on this. If you haven't talked about me here, Ricky and I talked about this on the Browns. The Browns topic, which was 2 days ago. Should they pick Sam Darnold or Josh Allen? They picked neither. They went Baker. But the thing with Josh Allen is this kid has not produced in big-time games. You need to dominate at the college level if you're going to dominate in the NFL. He did not do that in Wyoming. He completed less than, I think, 57% of his passes, and he wasn't even throwing the ball down the field. 6.6 yards per attempt on his throws. That is nothing in the NFL. And people bring up, he had no help around him. Lamar Jackson didn't have help on that offense as well. And Lamar Jackson was playing in the ACC. I like Lamar Jackson more than I do Josh Allen. I understand the body's there. He has some decent athleticism for that body, but he looks very quick on there against Wyoming competition. Lamar Jackson looks fast against guys who are going in the first round. Again, it's going to take a lot of work for Josh Allen to become an NFL quarterback. Again, the mold is there for him to do that, but he's also going to be sitting behind A.J. McCarron, or at least has the possibility to sit behind A.J. McCarron.
Training camp competition walking in the door.
But that's the thing. If he's better than A.J. McCarron in training camp, then give him the job. I mean, the whole thing is that we think he needs to sit.
Right.
But if he comes out and proves that he doesn't need to sit, play him. Because this Buffalo team is a playoff team. We saw this last year. They didn't lose much in that team from last year to this year.
Yeah, just a quarterback.
But if you have a quarterback in Josh Allen who you believe in,
yes, if you believe in him, that's fine.
So
I am just terrified of that though. Like I see him as a guy who needs time to sit. He needs time to learn how to read an NFL defense. He needs time to learn how to actually read an NFL playbook, because I have a feeling from the stuff that I did watch from him, like it was very simple play calling. He had some time to interpret and kind of do his own thing. But at the same time, I feel like they kept the play calling fairly simple. I'm curious to see how it expands up as soon as you hit that NFL official style systems. I've just got a lot of question marks, as you do, Sean, that he will pan out as an excellent NFL quarterback. I do think that if the one thing I want to say nice is he has the arm strength, he has the body to live up to the NFL level.
Arm strength is unreal. His arm strength is the best in this draft class.
As far as pairing up with some wide receivers in Buffalo, I'm shaky. I'm still shaky. I think they need to do something though. Can you admit that it had to be a Josh? I would have gone the other way as same as you, but I think at the end of the day, at least they didn't leave their fans in like, ew.
Oh, he's got Wyoming on the inside of his suit. Not bad. Whatever. Just paying homage to his thing. And the Bears pick is already in. Let's catch up on the comments real quick. Someone want real quick. 7th and 255th for 12th, 53rd, and 56th. So I think that's a great deal for the Bucks. You can still get a defensive playmaker in the draft later, even if Derwin James, Minka Fitzpatrick, Denzel Ward. I know Denzel Ward's already off the board. We'll get to a recap real quick. Even if those guys are off the board, you still have a guy in Josh Jackson on the outside who could be a really physical corner. Let's see. Where are we? Preach on. Yeah, we got an extra second rounder. Again, I really like the pick. James is not the only one that didn't have a visit to Chicago. So Bears probably not going to be taking Derwin James in this slot.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see where the move is. Can I get a recap of the pick so far? Number 1, Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield. Number 2, the New York Giants with Saquon Barkley. 3, the New York Jets with Sam Darnold. 4, the Cleveland Browns with Denzel Ward. 5, the Denver Broncos got Bradley Chubb. 6, Quentin Nelson goes to the Colts. 7, the Bills trade up. You see the picks down in the comments below. Thank you, I believe it was to Amazement who threw it in there. No, it was No Name FML. Threw the picks in there. Bills move up, flip with the Bucks, and the Bills take Josh Allen, and now the Bears are on the clock. What the hell? Pretty crazy. No Name called it. Good job.
Yep.
Amazement 717. Wow, haha. Rosen interviewed may have dropped him. Maybe, but I think this is probably an Aaron Rodgers situation. If he's healthy, I think he's the best quarterback in this draft.
It's a statement.
I'm not saying he's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying he's going to be the best quarterback in this draft, like Aaron Rodgers was back in 2005. Jamie, looks like Rosen will follow the Dolphins. If I'm Bill Belichick, I'm making calls. I'm making calls not to move up, but you got 2 picks there. If Oakland has the ability, they also have 4 first round. If they combine in the first and second round, they have 4 picks. So I think I'm making the call. I like Jackson more too. I think he's got undeniable athleticism for the position. Rosen 100% going to Miami. Yes or no?
No, I can't lock it in because trades will happen.
The Bears fill the linebacker spot with Edmonds. Are they going Edmonds or Roquan Smith?
I would much rather Roquan.
I like Tremaine Edmonds better. And the reason why, if he's picked here, I'll tell you why.
All right.
Christian Isorda, Lamar Jackson is underrated. I hope he goes to Jacksonville. I hope he goes to New England. Amazement, don't sleep on Arizona moving in for Rosen. Definitely a possibility, but if Lamar Jackson's there, they might go with him. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. Allen has actually accuracy issues. Yes, big arm, but needs to work on that accuracy. I feel like Edmonds might be a bust. Definitely has that, but he has a high, massive ceiling. Bears pick is in. Fuck, who do the Bears draft? I'm thinking it's going to be Tremaine Edmonds. Roquan Smith from Georgia is the new linebacker for the Chicago Bears. So the Bears go with Roquan Smith, a athletic monster from Georgia, was great in the championship game. Struggled a bit in that Oklahoma game, but was also fantastic throughout the season for Georgia. Was the Butkus Award winner in 2017. Roquan Smith, absolute monster, flying from sideline to sideline. Dave, you like him? Tell him why.
He's a day one starter for this Bears team. He comes in and brings a toughness that we desperately need in that linebacker line. I think the one thing that I like about him is the lack of hesitation. He reads plays. He knows exactly what is going on the other side of the ball. The one thing is the quick reaction time really is what sets off that first step. If you're going pass, if you're going handoff, like, he can read what the quarterback's doing. He checks the eyes. He moves with the ball. I think he has probably one of the smarter guys that doesn't get the credit for it, being one of the leaders on the defensive side of the ball.
Colin McSherry, bold prediction. I think San Fran will take Rosen. What are you smoking, Colin? They have Jimmy Garoppolo.
He's undefeated.
And they just signed him to the largest contract, the second largest contract in NFL history. Amazement. Can we move back in the first round with an extra pick? I think that's talking about the Bucks. I think they're going to probably stick at 12 and take a playmaker.
I think you enjoyed the extra picks. That's a Bucks team where you can live with the luxury.
Yakov Bauman says, could we move back? I don't know who we is referring to.
Might have been the Bears.
If it was the Bears,
we could have.
They got Roquan. I think, again, I really love his tenacity. He looks like a football player. His competitive nature is fantastic. Seems like a great leader. Seems like what you want in a linebacker. The only problem that I have is he's very small and he's not that physical when going up against offensive linemen. So if he's going to have to blitz gaps, if he's going to have to go in between, Hakeem Hicks, Leonard Floyd, if he's not able to open up, attack those holes, he's going to be manhandled. It was shown in that Oklahoma game. They just, the offensive line for Oklahoma went out and attacked Roquan Smith. They took him out of that game. And you saw the rushing yards that Oklahoma was accumulating early in that first half.
Yeah.
Roquan's a sideline to sideline guy. Maybe in a 3-4 you put him, you move him around and shift him. And
he was getting trapped way too close to the line, and like you said, those O-linemen were just eating him up. He kind of reminds me of the direction that the Falcons went. They went with athletic linebackers, a little undersized, but these guys, like you said, sideline to sideline, they can drop into coverage easily. They can apply some speed rushes to the quarterback. I like the versatility, and as a Chicago Bears fan, I love going linebacker. I'm sorry, it's just like, it goes back to the history of the Bears. It's just, he seems like the right kind of guy to add into this organization right now.
You look at Brian Urlacher, he was super athletic, great leader. Roquan Smith has shown that so far. The only problem is his size. That's the only thing I worry about. This isn't like a quarterback. This is a linebacker position. You have to be physical. You have to be big. You have to win with leverage. Roquan Smith will need to prove that in his first year. Let's catch up with the comments before the Niners pick comes in. Playboy Jordy said, anybody on Fortnite?
Not
sure.
Right.
Head up a squad. Amazement. Good pick. Bears, best linebacker in the draft. I would agree with that he's the best linebacker in the draft. I think Tremaine Edmonds would have been a better fit because he has that potential. And I thought that he was a guy that Ryan Pace would go to. He has the traits and potential that Ryan Pace likes in his picks.
Yep.
I'm so happy that it's Smith, not Edmonds. I think it's Edwards, right? Edwards or Edmonds? There's always a.
You're killing me right now because now I want to say an answer and I feel like I'm wrong.
I know who
it's Edmonds. I say it's going to be
Edmonds.
wrong.
It's Edmonds. I always question because I think the Outcast, Buzz and Juice, if you haven't checked them out, Chicago-based podcast.
I love them.
Great guys. On Most Valuable Podcast, I think they first said Edwards, and then I picked up Edwards, and then someone started yelling in the comments that it's Edmonds. It's Edmonds. Again, Roquan Smith, more of a finished product. I just thought the Bears would go with him because of Edmonds' potential. Vic will coach him. Vic will coach him to up.
He'll coach him up.
I don't think it's really coaching up. It's just he needs to beef up.
NFL size.
Edmonds goes to Oakland, I think. Could see it, but I think if Derwin James is there, they'll probably go with Derwin James or Minka. Brandon said Patriots trading pick for Lamar. I know somebody who knows Lamar. I wouldn't be against it. Let's see if that happens.
I like it. I like the inside info.
Colin McSherry, would you be surprised if somehow Rosen ends up in the Broncos? Absolutely shocked if he somehow ends up on the Broncos. They would have taken him if they wanted him.
Zero chance.
I hope the Niners don't get safety, but we will get either one or maybe Vita Vea. Many options. Yeah, Bucks are definitely have a ton of options. I have no clue. San Fran should take. Who should they take real quick?
I'm going to go with Tremaine.
I think they're going to go Minka Fitzpatrick. Because of Elway. What's up? What's up, Mitch? Where's Ricky? Ricky is at Avengers right now.
Yeah.
Could Rosen fall to the Bengals or Ravens? I don't think he gets past Miami or someone will trade out.
McGlinchey, that's actually a smart pick.
And Niners go Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle from Notre Dame. You got to protect Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's pretty much the move right there.
There's your insurance policy.
McGlinchey, people might see that as a reach, but again, he's the #1 tackle in this draft class. It's not really a reach when you have that need. You go out and get the best guy at the position. He's still a first round prospect. And McGlinchey, you're not sure if he's going to play right or left tackle, but both of those positions insanely valuable in protecting your #1 asset in Jimmy G. I like the pick.
Yeah, no, I think that what you love here is the fact that, actually, for you, a Notre Dame fan, you're watching both Nelson and McGlinchey go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these were the best prospects coming out in this draft from the O-line, and I think he's proved over time. The question you brought it up, right or left tackle, I think right now he's versatile enough to play either or. I know left is very critical with the amount of speed rushers on that side. I am a little concerned about him starting there day one, but I think regardless, he is going to be a huge asset to this 49ers team. And like you said, you need to protect Jimmy G because that guy can throw the ball, and if you keep him upright, undefeated. I'm just saying, undefeated.
Edmund says surprising pick. I see where you're coming from, but I don't think it's too shocking, or I don't think it's a reach.
Yeah.
Again, with value, it's a reach if it's like a Georgios Papagiannis.
I got so totaled on the defense.
Yeah.
I forgot offensive line existed for a second.
I don't think it's crazy that Mike McGlinchey went there. They addressed the need, and again, I think he's the best tackle prospect in this draft. How do you feel about the best quarterback, Marcus Mariota? Well, there's a guy in the NFL that plays for the New England Patriots. His name is Tom Brady. He has 5 rings. And beat Marcus Mariota in New England. Irish Dan, they had a good O-line last year. Yeah, they didn't have a quarterback, though. Also, look out for Equinemius St. Brown, the wide receiver from Notre Dame, 6'4", runs a 4.48. You're going to be a day 2 prospect. Absolute monster.
One of the best names in the draft, by the way.
Damn good pick. I like the pick. For San Francisco, Skulls8827 says Roquan Smith is the Portis of football, the Bobby Portis of football.
Where are these comparisons coming from?
From Bulls fans. Why am I wearing a suit? I came from an event that forced me to wear a suit, and the Raiders trade the pick to the Cardinals. What? Oh my God! What? Josh Rosen's going to be a Cardinal.
It's happening.
Oh my God!
This is perfect because you want to know why? Because they have a quarterback who can't play a whole season, so they had to go out and get a quarterback right away in this draft. I absolutely love the pick. I think this is going to be awesome for them because, like you said, you think he's the best quarterback. I think he's the second best. But by a small margin, I think he has so much talent. Everybody just shits on him because, like you said, he comes off with a bit of attitude. His interviews have been mixed reviews. So I think just talent-wise, though, you can't deny what he brings to the table. He has the body, he has the smarts, he has the talent, he has everything you want in a quarterback for your franchise.
Brandon said, my family was friends with Lamar in their neighborhood of Florida. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't be super shocked if the Patriots did trade up to get Lamar Jackson. Edmund, Notre Dame produces excellent O-linemen. Absolutely true. Look at Zach Martin. Brian Kelly, I'll give him excellent credit. The offensive lines at Notre Dame have been fantastic. He just needs to get better at getting quarterbacks and then not treating the good ones like Deshaun Kaiser like crap. There was one from Jamie a little bit earlier. Could you see the Cowboys taking Calvin Ridley at 19? If he's available, yes. Not a reach at all. Best wide receiver in the class. They need a wide receiver. Take Calvin Ridley if he's there at 19. That would be a little bit of a fall and a stumble. Not too shocking.
I've seen him going as far as like late 20s. So I mean, he has a very wide range.
He could be taken, in the next couple picks or all the way back in 20.
Yeah.
But if they take him at 19, not a reach at all. Let's see. The Irish O-line was great, and the Bears have their O-line coach.
Yes, we do.
I forget his name. It's something. It's Harry. It's Harry. I can't think of his name.
I'm not going to help you. You struggle.
I'm still catching up from rushing over here from Dave's house and setting up the live stream. Let's see. Not a strong wide receiver this class draft. Good,
No.
not great. True, but there's a lot of guys with potential. Calvin Ridley's really solid. He's not going to be great. He's really solid. Equinemius St. Brown has the body. but is he going to be able to actually catch? Cortland Sutton has pretty much everything that you want in an NFL wide receiver, but did he play enough against the right competition? Is he a great enough route runner? That's going to be the questions asked by him. DJ Moore has every potential there, but really didn't produce that much at Maryland. So that's really the question.
Teams are so afraid of taking a wide receiver in round one because the last couple of years, almost every wide receiver gone in round one has busted or lived under their potential. So I think it's very questionable that you would invest in a wide receiver super early.
Odell Beckham Jr.
I said almost.
Just throwing it out there.
I'm not saying every. I said almost.
Oakland might take Derwin James. Nope. Scratch that. Victor Wayne said. Jamie said no. I told you guys watch Arizona. You did. Amazement. Not wrong at all. We're gonna see no quarterback draft in the first 3 rounds since Matt Leinart. That does not bode well for Josh Rosen being in that company. But again, if they're going Josh Rosen, I think it's an absolute 100% steal. Let's catch up. Brandon Lamar to the Patriots confirmed. We'll see what happens.
I like the thought.
It's not in the Patriots' nature to trade up, but again, they have the weapons to do so.
Yep. Man, this is mayhem right now. I think what's weird is Arizona's taking their time with the pick, and I would have expected that to be locked in pretty quickly.
I think it's just making sure the trade's finalized and everything like that.
Okay.
I think it's also for the ESPN guys to catch up. They're giving them 2 minutes to catch up. Let's see. If this isn't Rosen, I'm going to cry. As a Rosen fan, I will. As a Patriot fan, I won't, because that still gives the ability for him
have a chance.
to take up. What if Mason Rudolph goes here? We don't know. Let's see. Let's go Arizona gets at number 10. Thank God. Says Daniel, Playboy Jordy. How do you feel about Marcus Mariota? Promising young quarterback. Not going to be. He's not a top 10 quarterback. But I mean, he's still promising. He's still young. He's still developing. He didn't have the great system around him for him to flourish. He still is getting used to Corey Davis. Still gonna take a couple of years for him to become elite, but he's got every trait to do so as long as he stays healthy. Rosen to Dolphins would have sucked. I feel like they still believe in Ryan Tannehill, and Tannehill showed before he was injured that he can help that team win. So I understand that they don't have a solid franchise quarterback in Ryan Tannehill, but they still have a quarterback.
Well, that's the thing. You're stuck in the
Cardinals
against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So you're capped out, unfortunately. So what Ryan Tannehill did, I think, was pretty okay. I don't think he was a guy who was going to be a world beater. He wasn't going to knock off Tom Brady by any means in that division. But what he could do is at least put you in to compete in games. I definitely understand. The haul. 15.
It's 10 and 15 and a third and a fifth. Not bad.
Okay.
I mean, the Bills just gave up 2 seconds, so I mean, that's a really.
See, I feel like the Bills got away with something by the Bucks got 2 seconds is better value than.
But they had to trade up to get. They had their choice of 2 quarterbacks, where pretty much now they're stuck with Rosen. Not stuck.
I think they're stuck with the better quarterback. It's a rough one.
Real quick, let's catch up. Chase said, "Live stream is so awesome. Love what you guys are doing. We love you, Chase."
Yes.
Who has the higher ceiling, Watson or Mayfield? Watson, 100%. Watson with his athleticism, his body. Watson. He showed it last year. Could have been MVP. If he stayed healthy.
He can't stay healthy, then it's Mayfield.
But it was also, who has the higher ceiling? Not who's going to be a better player. Who has the higher ceiling?
There it is.
Watson.
Official.
And Josh Rosen, now an Arizona Cardinal. Arizona.
Does he just not
love
look,
it?
He did not look happy in that tunnel.
No, he did.
No. That smile turned on pretty quickly as soon as he hit daylight.
He's probably making sure he was probably confused where he's going. He's coming out of some weird tunnel.
You're trying to make excuses. I feel
The
like
dude's
he was
nervous. All he said is that he wanted to be drafted on Thursday. He didn't say that he wanted to be drafted at any single point. Josh Rosen.
What do you think? Think it's a perfect fit for him?
I don't know if it's a perfect fit, but you're going to have to be thrown to Larry Fitzgerald if he starts this year. They do have Sam Bradford who's going to help him teach. It's probably dangerous, though, because I compared him a little bit to Sam Bradford. Great thrower, but it's going to be durability that kills his career and not his actual abilities. Josh Rosen looks happy. Shut up.
Yeah,
I think the only question, though, is the system, and will Steve Wilks be the right coach to help him really thrive and succeed in the NFL? Being a defensive-minded head coach in Steve Wilks, their new head coach out in Arizona, will that be the right group around Josh Rosen to help him succeed? That's going to be the biggest question there. But again, you have Larry Fitzgerald for 1 more year. If you do start away, you also have the best running back, or one of the best running backs in the league, in David Johnson, if he's healthy. I think the Cardinals are probably the best spot of any quarterback so far to go to outside of maybe Buffalo.
Really?
I like Sean McDermott a lot. You have less weapons on the offensive side.
Yeah, that's.
But even then, looking at that defense for Arizona, they're still one of the top defenses in the league. They did get rid of Honey Badger, but also they still have Pat Peterson. They still know how to draft defensively. I honestly love the pick and the fit for Josh Rosen.
Arizona is perfect for him. That's why the only reason, on top of what you said, was like environment-wise, playing in Arizona is just awesome for him. He doesn't have to worry about conditions too often. It's just a always perfect environment to play in. I think offensively, scheme-wise, I think he'll transition very well into the NFL. Like you said, though, my question is he someone who's going to be a mid-year replacement for Sam Bradford, or is he someone who's going to sit for a year? Mm-hmm. And even though we talked about him being potentially the most NFL-ready quarterback in this draft, it would be almost a little shocking, but at the same time, like, go ahead, you want to drop your reference to Aaron Rodgers, there you go.
Oh, yeah. He fell.
Yeah, he fell. He's going to sit behind a quarterback, not nearly the same caliber.
I don't know if he will sit, though. Because, again, Sam Bradford, we don't know how he's going to come back from that injury. He's not 100% healthy still. This is still Sam Bradford. He's probably still recovering from his rookie year injuries. And they still have Mike Glennon. So, hey, Mike Glennon might be superseded by another rookie quarterback. Let's catch up on this. Pat, our buddy and our patron, says, Sean looks like a stretched player agent right now. I am stressed out of my mind. That's a consistency, though. I'm having fun. We're having fun here on the live stream. Thanks for joining us, Pat. Playboy Jordy said Bucks are winning 48-39. Not Bucks in 6, but hey, we'll see what happens. Amazement 717 with Miami and Arizona needing quarterbacks. That was a great trade for my Bucks. The Bucks got out like bandits. They were in a great position. I love the move for them. You also are in a position now at 12 where Minka's still on the board, Derwin's still on the board, even Tremaine Edmonds as well still on the board. So Tampa Bay made a great pick and a great move.
I totally agree. Bucks came out like bandits on this one.
Colin, I'm a Pats fan too. I want Lamar. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. There's now, 12 spots where the Patriots will have to wait if they do not trade up, and it's really not in Bill's typical nature to trade up, so we'll see what happens with Lamar Jackson and the Patriots. Victor Wang said Miami should take Vita Vea. Hey, you're losing Ndamukong Suh. It would be awesome to put in a run stopper, a massive athletic guy in Vita Vea in the middle of that defense. Could totally see the move for the Dolphins.
He'd actually have some energy. He wouldn't give up on plays like a certain someone on your team. It'd be nice for you.
Amazement 717 said, "What's Gruden thinking at pick 15? It's got to be defense. I mean, that's Gruden's MO, and also that was Gruden's MO when he won the Super Bowl at Tampa. I think that's got to be one of the biggest things that he looks for is going after the defensive side. It just depends on who will be there. There's still 4 picks and 4 teams that need defensive spots that are going before him in Miami, Tampa Bay, Washington, and Green Bay. So
like
we'll
you
see
said,
what happens.
there is a plethora of talent still on this board. It has been an interesting start to the draft.
Arizona trades. Okay, that was just the trade. Thank you, Victor, for putting that in there. Amazement 717. Good picks, cards, especially in division with Wilson, Garoppolo, and Goff. I completely agree. You got to get young, a quarterback in there. Losing Carson Palmer, you haven't had a young quarterback since Matt Leinart. We know how that panned out. Colin said, "Who are the Dolphins taking?" I'm going to say Vita.
I am going
Minka Fitzpatrick for Dave. We'll see what happens. The pick is in. Lamar to the Ravens. Well, you and Colin should fight, and Brandon as well.
We have an inside source. Say differently.
Yeah, Brandon started calling Lamar to the Patriots. We'll see what happens. Jamie said, "Could you see Mason being available in the second round?" 100%, unless he goes late first. Jamie said, "Or do you think he's taking the first round?" I think he's more of a second round pick. Miami goes Minka Fitzpatrick for the Miami Dolphins. They get a safety nickel hybrid. I think that's a great addition. I mean, you really look at Miami, and they have some pieces in that secondary, but nobody fantastic. Minka Fitzpatrick is a guy that was nicknamed Coach Saban's son. Well, it was Coach Saban's son because he was constantly trying to get better, constantly in the film room, trying to work to become a better player. Minka Fitzpatrick, the kid loves football. The kid loves being out there. There's even a story that they were up 40. He made the wrong play, and someone's like, "Cool it, we're down 40. So Minka Fitzpatrick, a really motivated kid, and adding him to that defense that I think is very underrated in Miami. You obviously have Cam Wake there, and they brought in Robert Quinn. They have some help already in the front 7. They also have Kiko Alonso. They made some moves at linebacker. I really think that that Minka Fitzpatrick will be really interesting for Miami.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good move for them. I think the big thing to remind yourselves are, like, his fit isn't exact. What you got, Sean? You're already cracking up.
Our boy Jesper V says Miami should take Vucevic with the pick. We'll stay in Florida. Thanks for coming in, Baker.
Yep. Appreciate the love. No, again, this guy can fit anywhere in that secondary. You can play him up against the run. You can put him in the secondary as a spy. You can do whatever you want. He is that versatile. He can give you a little bit of everything. No, he's not the guy I would go, you're on the outside and put somebody on the corner and that's what you do the whole game. That's not how you get the best out of Minka Fitzpatrick. He's someone who you let put himself in the best position to succeed, and then you benefit because, like you said, he is a smart guy. He's a leader. He's someone who knows how to act like a professional on and off the field. Like, there's nothing not to love about this kid. The only thing that everybody keeps going, where's he gonna play? Where's he gonna play? You find a spot for him.
But
he can fit.
But the thing with Minka is, I don't think anyone's worried about where he can play. He gives you versatility.
Yeah.
I think it's great that you're
I've
questioning
heard-
where he plays, because he has the ability to play safety in special spots, and he also has the ability to come up and play nickel.
Yeah.
And also, I'm blanking on his name. But the Dolphins already have a great safety, I think. Help throw it out down in the comments below. But I know the Dolphins already have or had a great safety. I'll look them up. But you look up the Miami Dolphins safeties and throw them out. Let's see. Tevin asks, is Rashaan Evans safe in the late first round? 100%. Linebacker out of Alabama. Completely different than Reuben Foster, came out last year. But I still think that he's in that 20 to 32 round range, and if he doesn't go in the first round, he'd be an absolute steal for
Rashid
the
Jones,
second round.
T.J. McDonald.
Yeah, Rashid Jones.
Yeah.
Rashid Jones already a great safety there in Miami, so it's going to be interesting to see where they move him and plug him in. Amazement said Davenport to the Raiders. I'm calling it. I love that pick. Marcus Davenport, pairing him with Khalil Mack on the outside. He's a kid that's very raw but has all the tools to become great. And one thing too is that he'll have help from Khalil Mack on the outside, where he doesn't need to be the only guy rushing the passer. It'd be a great spot for Marcus Davenport to go and grow. Miami drafted Minka. Yes, they did. Colin McSherry said nice call. Dave Man 1220, so that's not you, said
No.
shit. Playboy Jordy said the Cardinals should have picked DeAndre Ayton. Well, guys, come on. I'm kidding. Cardinals taking
Suns,
DeAndre
basically
Ayton.
the same thing.
Where would Ayton play in the NFL, Dave?
Shit. He is big, but not wide. I don't know. Like, he might be a shitty tight end.
Shitty tight end.
Shitty tight end.
7 feet tall.
Yeah.
It'd be.
I say, where do the 7-footers play in the NFL?
They don't play.
On the D line usually.
Yeah,
The
not even.
very few that I've seen.
What's the tallest NFL player though? Like 6'7", maybe. It's got to be a tight end. Let's get back to the comments. So, Edman, I know the Texans don't have a first or second round pick, but should they trade up in the first or second round? Absolutely not. That team, I feel, is already have the pieces in place to be good. You can really attack the draft in the third and fourth and late rounds. They don't need a game changer in the first or second round. You already have your franchise quarterback. You already have Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt. I think the only really pieces they need to add are in that secondary. But as long as the Texans stay healthy, they're a playoff team. Let's see.
So
Did I say Rashad Jones? My bad. Rashad Jones, I still think he's going to be 20 to 32. I think he's going to be a first round pick though. Bucks took Vita Vea.
ooh.
So the pick is in, hasn't been announced yet. But Victor's saying that they have took Vita Vea. Jamie said it's a great pick. The best way to beat Brady is to have a ball hawk. That's true, and we've seen Miami do a really good job in the past couple of years of pressuring Brady and wreaking havoc and having Robert Quinn and Cam Wake already on that Dolphins team, putting pressure on him. Definitely going to be able to creating that pressure that you need
Yes.
to defeat Tom Brady. Amazement said, Victor, are you jumping in and out of the draft war rooms? Haha. Victor said just on Twitter. I don't like that they spoil it on Twitter, so that's why I'm staying off of it.
Exactly.
Tevin said, did the Browns blow the draft again? I don't think they blew it again. I honestly think for them to be great, you need to take chances. They took a big chance on Baker Mayfield, and I think that's going to really show on whether or not Cleveland's
Sean,
going to
I've
be
got a
screwed
question
around.
for you, and I know it's a comparison every Browns fan is going to hate, but tell me why Baker Mayfield's different than a certain quarterback they took just 2 years ago.
Well,
who's a punky little bitch.
first off, one's much smaller, and Johnny Manziel compared to Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
One has substance abuse. The only problems personality-wise with Baker Mayfield.
Baker's been tased before running away from cops.
But he doesn't have. It's different to be drunk than to be a drunk.
Yeah, I'll admit that.
So I think Baker was just more of a stupid college kid. He's just got to be more mature. And Vita Vea going to the Bucs, like Victor said. Vita Vea rocking the long locks and wearing some Hawaiian garb. Absolutely looking studly out there. This kid is a monster.
Trying to give the full name a shot?
Tavita Tukalano, Tuplatoro, Moses, Veahea, Fico, Falatua Vea.
I think that's as good as you can do. I'll be honest.
I did it on the live mock where we did trades.
Damn.
But yeah, no, this kid's athletic, big, chunky, thick. This kid is a monster. And Tampa Bay is getting a playmaker in the middle of that defense. Tampa, again, they're not great, but they have pieces to be a playoff team.
Right. He can block up the middle. He can stuff the run. And the one thing is, he's big and strong enough to push that O-line back in and create some confusion in the backfield, whether the running back's trying to find a hole or whether the quarterback is trying to find out where his pocket's established. He can create havoc back there. And I think it's one of the most impactful spots for this Bucs team to go and get someone to anchor down that D-line.
Let's see. Where were we on this?
Just ragdolling kids out there.
How did you feel about the Bears pick? I liked it. I think
Huge fan.
Roquan, you needed a leader in that linebacking core. I think Roquan can do that. The biggest problem with that linebacking core for the Bears was health. As long as Roquan Smith can stay healthy, it's going to be interesting to see what he does. Again, I think he's a little bit too small for the position, but again, his speed is undeniable. I don't think it was a reach in any sense. It's just really how will his game translate to the NFL. The only thing I'm worried about it is his ability to get leverage and push back on bigger linemen in the NFL, because they had a problem when he was directly attacking him in that was it the national championship game?
I honestly
No, it was the Rose Bowl game. The Rose Bowl game between Oklahoma and Georgia. That was the biggest thing with Roquan Smith. If he's able to gain more leverage, beef up a little bit, I think Roquan Smith will be a great linebacker. Calais Campbell's 7 feet tall. I don't know about that.
I don't think
Look up if Calais Campbell's 7 feet tall. Amazement's good with Vita Vea. He should be. I think he's a real stud. What is your opinion on Baker going 1?
He's 6'8".
He's 6'8". So
that's not even close.
Yeah, Calais is 6'8". There's no monsters like
the tallest person
height-wise.
Was from like a mid-60s who was a 7 foot 400-pound high schooler.
But the thing is that
slight.
they drafted that guy to block field goals, to stand by the goalpost and try to not play it down. He didn't actually play. SB Nation did a good video on that. Check it out if you're on YouTube. After the live stream.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard, and after you finish all of our videos.
Of course.
Xavier Howard, what is your opinion on Baker going 1? I think he has the tools to be a quarterback, but it's all about his maturity. If he's not mature, he's going to be a bust. And I think the one thing that goes well for him is that you're going to need to be brash, and you're going to need to really want to change the culture in Cleveland, and I think he's done that so far. I think he's shown he's shown the drive to do that so far. So I think Baker's driven enough. It's just really will he be more mature and nailed down to accomplish the goal.
Yeah, the thing I love about him is how passionate he is about football. He was a walk-on twice in his college career. He's somebody who absolutely lives for the game.
3-star recruit in high school.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to see out of your quarterback as a leader. I know Sean talked about the immaturity issues. And I totally don't. There's no argument there. He needs to grow up a bit, but at the same time, the drive is there, the passion's there. I think the big question for me is how does he become a leader in that locker room?
Mark Jackson looking nice in a green suit. Really digging it.
He's being spotlit a little here. No cell phone.
I should get some green. Well, do you think Washington's gonna take him? They just signed Alex Smith to a 4-year deal.
No, I'm wondering if a certain team want to trade up though.
I think once we get, I think Green Bay is the team that might trade down, and then past Oakland will trade down. So like the Ravens, that area, Chargers maybe.
People have mocked the Ravens actually as the QB at times.
They have mocked Lamar Jackson.
Don't they have the offensive coordinator from Vic is on the Ravens now, right? I am blanking on names. I'm awful at names, people. But you can tell me.
You have a computer.
I know. I'm just being.
Washington and Green Bay. Who should they pick? Washington. I thought they were going to go with Vita Vea. I wouldn't be shocked if they go Daron Payne. Fill that defensive tackling lead that's still there.
Morningwig. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Morningwig.
Yep.
And then I think Washington's going to go Daron Payne, and then I think Green Bay is going to go with secondary help. Either Derwin James or Josh Jackson. I think they should go Derwin James. I think they should go Josh Jackson. I think they need more corner help than safety help. Green Bay, again, I think they're going to take Josh Jackson. I think they need corner help more than they need safety help, but I think they're going to go secondary. Amazement, finally, McCoy got some help. Yes. We're going to need to be more physical teams with this signing. I think that Gerald McCoy and Vita Vea are going to be absolute studs on that Tampa team and on that Tampa defense. And there's still a lot of playmakers, Quan Alexander, on that Bucs team that's going to be really special. So I like that pick for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, it was the end of the Eagles' years for Marty Wing and Michael Vick's most productive offensive time. So if you've got a player you like there, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not kicking out Joe Flacco yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I am saying that I could see, the fit of you have a guy who's worked with a extremely mobile quarterback who then turned his arm into a serious weapon at the NFL level. Jackson has pretty good accuracy, good mobility. He needs to get a little more solid. His body needs built. He's a little skinnier right now, but it's still someone who that's not someone.
I don't think
down the road.
I don't think his. I'm not a fan of his accuracy. I'm not a fan of his.
Just shit all over
his fundamentals. Well, I think
fundamentals go to crap under pressure.
But hold on, with his accuracy, I think it's also to deal with the system that he was in and the weapons around him. I talked about this on the segment that we did about Lamar Jackson and the Patriots trading up. I think that he can be an accurate quarterback back in the NFL, and I think he's more comparable to either a Dak or a Russell Wilson, both guys who proved to be accurate in the NFL. Washington selects at the 13th pick, Daron Payne.
Okay.
Boom,
Nailed
called it.
Sean
They need
Thomas.
defensive tackle help. This guy is a truck in the middle. Love the pick for Washington. I think really there's nothing too crazy to say besides this kid comes from a great program in Alabama. This kid's going to clog up the middle. You have Kerrigan still. There's still some pieces on that Washington defense. Josh Norman, obviously a name still out there, that can really help to be a productive defense. And having Alex Smith, sorry I'm boring you, having Alex Smith can definitely change that a little bit. I think Washington still needs more pieces.
Oh, there it is. Packers trade the Saints.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So
This is awesome. This is awesome.
The Saints are moving up. Daron Payne, he's a great pick. There's nothing much to say about it.
I think fit-wise, it's good. I think it's exactly what they need, and I think he is a stud up front.
And I forgot, they have Jason Pierre-Paul, too, because they got the trade. So, Vita Vea, Gerald McCoy, JPP, unreal right there. I got to find out this trade, though. I didn't want to put it in the Saints
Action Jackson going to the Saints.
But are they? Or do they love a guy like Tremaine Edmonds, or are they in love with a guy like Derwin James?
All right, so this is the weird thing. I was listening to someone on ESPN, and they were interviewing Saints head coach
Sean Payton.
And he was talking about in the past years quarterbacks that they've liked, and
they love Pat Mahomes.
Nobody special this year.
Mm-hmm.
Was that just smokescreen?
It could have been a smokescreen, but also Sean Payton's not making the moves.
No, but Sean Payton is a heavily influential person in that team, that organization, and I think he's pretty much the face of the team. It's him and Drew Brees are 1-2, baby. So,
which team has reached so far? Real quick, just give me a team.
Reached? I still think that Denzel Ward pick's a reach. I don't love it.
But I don't think they moved back to take him. There's no reason to move back.
No, but I thought he was gonna go somewhere between 8 and 12. I'll be 100% honest. At 4, I would have been thrilled to walk with Bradley Chubb.
I think the biggest reach will be Baker Mayfield. I think that he was a reach just because he wasn't the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have made the move. If you love a quarterback, take him. But I think it's a reach still. I mean, I don't think there's any classical reaches where a guy who was probably the 16th best pick and went 4th. I think Baker was the closest to that example. I think Baker was probably the 16th best player overall in this draft, around that in that middle range. I think he was the 3rd best quarterback. You reached and took him. If you love him, go and take him. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. I'm just saying it's probably the biggest reach.
Pseudo criticizing the Browns, but if you love your guy, take him. I respect it. But at the same time, you done fucked up. Why'd you pick that guy?
In your mock draft, who do you think was going 1? My one that I did by myself, Sam Darnold. I think he's the best quarterback. I think he was the best quarterback for Cleveland. I think Josh Rosen's the best quarterback. The best quarterback for Cleveland though is different. I think it was Sam Darnold. Oakland might be able to land Derwin James. Yeah, hell yeah. They're at 15 right now. They're in prime position if the Saints are moving up to take Lamar Jackson. Unless New Orleans thought that they'd be going with Derwin James and they go up and make that trade.
Yeah, we're all assuming quarterback, but they could go up and snatch him.
Yeah, Saints going defense, no doubt. And then Edmund. So Amazement 717 said Saints going defense, no doubt. Edmund, literally the next one says Lamar Jackson to the Saints confirmed. Are you on the Action Jackson train?
Action Jackson, baby.
Or are you on the defense train?
Like, Drew Brees is a goddamn legend. But here's the weird thing. Like, he's in similar range as Tom Brady. He's going to play till his arm falls off. He's going to do it till he can't. He's still one of the best at the position. But at the same time, they haven't found a guy behind him who they are in love with. So if you go out, you get someone like Lamar Jackson, who you said, even yourself, he's a guy who you can build up to become a good passer in the NFL. He's got the skill set to keep himself safe in the pocket. He's mobile. He's pretty smart. I think in an offense as creative as what Sean Payton puts together, they would be able to use him. And that's the thing I was afraid. If he goes to a team that is not open to a non-traditional offense, then he's just shit out of luck.
And Victor dropping the trade details in the thing. Saints trade 27, 147, and next year's first to the Packers for 14. So Saints trying to make a Super Bowl run. They think this player that they're going to take. I think it's going to be Derwin James.
Ooh,
he thinks it's Lamar Jackson.
I think it's the other way.
It's going to be. I think they're going for a Super Bowl run, not for the future. My bad.
I mean, I can see why they would do it. Don't get me wrong. I think Derwin James is a stud, but at the same time, you don't usually trade up for players like this. Are you what? What are we doing? What's going on? Oh no! We're breaking.
Your phone's charged enough, Dave. I need juice on mine.
Incredibly charged. Yes, I charged before you got here. I just don't see trading up for. Oh, but at the same time, like I wouldn't have expected him to be on the board at this point.
That's the thing is, you don't expect him to be on the board, and then also, Oakland wants him. So you got to jump
Oakland.
Oakland.
Maybe.
That's the trick.
But
That's the typical
trade. You're one in a 5.
But the Saints are trying to make moves to become Super Bowl contenders. They were in the playoffs last year. They looked absolutely fantastic, trying to bolster that defense. I like the move if you're getting Derwin James. If you're picking Lamar Jackson, I think it's the wrong move because you're going to extend that time. You have to hit that sweet spot of the 5-year rookie contract, and we don't know how long Drew Brees is going to be playing. So that's the thing is, Lamar Jackson isn't going to be helping your team right now, and you're giving up a future pick to help your team next year.
It's like bizarro Giants.
So I think this pick needs to help your team. Your team needs more help in the secondary. Kenny Vaccaro, not on this team anymore. I think Derwin James is the pick here. The pick isn't in yet, though. 214 still left. Let's see. While we may have to deal with Lamar Jackson in the division, oh man, that's amazement. Bucks fan talking about the Saints. Missed my opinion on Mason Rudolph. I think he's a project guy. I honestly think he's going to flame out in the NFL. I don't think he's going to be anything special besides a backup quarterback.
I think he's the next AJ McCarron.
But I
think he's going to sit behind the quarterback for a couple years. There'll be some intrigue because, he was pretty good. He's looked good in spring training, in some of the preseason games, but you'll never quite know until he gets a chance. So I don't foresee him coming in and really competing for a starting job anywhere.
Could the Saints take Calvin Ridley? Maybe.
That'd be weird. I mean, they just do so much with their wide receivers, and they pull those guys off the street, basically. They do great things with late-round picks. I don't necessarily see them needing to do a wide receiver in the one. It just seems uncharacteristic right now. Like, need-wise, I don't think it's at the top of their charts.
It's got to be defense that jumped Oakland. That's my thought process. Playboy said, how do you feel about Pat Mahomes? Going to be interesting to see how he does taking over the offense, but strong arm, good mobility, and also Andy Reid's been good with quarterbacks. So
the hype is there.
Hopefully, he gets rid of the Texas Tech narrative for quarterbacks. Refrigerator said C. Hello, refrigerator. Hold on. I know that means yes, but hello. Victor Wayne says the pick is in. Yes, it is. See the graphics flashing up in AT&T Stadium. The pick is in. Tevin said looks like the Saints going pass rusher. So if they go pass rusher, that's going to be either Marcus Davenport with a lot of potential. Harold Landry was a sack leader in 2016, then got injured in 2017. Or also blanking on his name. No, Davenport. Davenport and Landry are
I'd say those are the two guys I would.
Oh, Edmonds. Tremaine Edmonds is still on the boat. If they want to develop that youth, because they are a really veteran-heavy team with their pass rush. So if they want to bring youth in, Tremaine Edmonds, does not need to. I'm going to fuck it up all night.
All night.
Tremaine Edmonds does not need to be a guy where he needs to play right away. And you're going to be able to put him in different packages.
Yep.
You need to be able to help him grow. And again, if you believe that potential is there for him to be an all-pro, it's a nice pick, especially if you think John Gruden's going to move up and take that guy.
Oh man, and that would really just burn John Gruden too. I think that's a nice move to do. But the Saints team, I think the balance about the future and the past is kind of there. I'm curious to see because this pick could dictate the direction of the organization for the next couple of years. Grabbing a drink while we wait for him to read some words. And us to
With the worst team pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, New Orleans Saints select. I don't know who it is. I can't read his lip.
No, I'm turning on CC. Not a
Marcus Davenport.
Marcus Davenport.
Out of UTSA, the Roadrunners from UTA San Antonio. His hobby, journaling, poetry, and watching anime. Marcus Davenport, now the pick for the Saints. You think he's going to be jumping Oakland. Oakland now going to be on the clock. But they still have opportunities, Oakland, to get a guy like Derwin James. So I don't think Oakland's shunned.
That's an interesting reach for me.
I think it's interesting, but it also makes sense. If you think that you're still going to be competing in the next 3 years, Marcus Davenport is going to need a guy that probably need a year to grow and learn an NFL system. But all the tools and the abilities are there for Marcus Davenport to be a stud.
265.
And ran the fastest 40 out of a D lineman.
Whew.
So, I mean, look at these stats. I mean, this kid's a monster. He just
Oh
looks
my
like a
God,
monster.
he's standing up.
It's like Lawrence Taylor-esque, but the problem is he's going up against UTSA Roadrunner competition.
Yeah.
So he has the look of being a fearful monster, and really getting him to be an NFL player is going to take some time.
Jeez.
But you see what he's doing. He's dominating college. I think it's a great pick and a great fit for for New Orleans.
That poor quarterback.
I think it's a great pick for New Orleans because he doesn't need to play right away.
No, I agree that I don't know if it's a great pick, but I think that what he brings to the table is pretty impressive. The big concern for me is, was it worth 2 1s and a 5? I want to say. I don't know. The cost might be a little high there in my mind because you get similar guys, not similar as far as body type, but similar as far as contributions to this team going forward. I think,
but not at 27. You cannot get a guy like this at 27.
I don't know.
No, but there's not a pass rusher outside of him and Landry that I'd be comfortable taking in the first round. I think Edmonds could be, but Edmonds could also move to inside linebacker. The fact that Edmonds is still slipping though is very shocking.
Yeah.
Because Davenport's still a guy that needs to be molded just like Edmonds, but Edmonds, 19 years old, super quick, super athletic, has the body.
Yep.
I'm shocked he hasn't gone yet.
No,
and I think
he's one of the biggest followers. Yes.
I think that Baltimore is a team that could definitely take him because you think about Terrell Suggs leaving. If Edmonds falls there, watch out. Ozzie Newsome, great GM, knows players. I think that getting him as a Terrell Suggs replacement could be massive for Baltimore. Oakland's still on the clock though, but also Derwin James still on the board.
I feel like this one is almost. I want to say no-brainer, but then they just won't take Derwin James. I'm just going to prove it wrong again. That's fine. That's totally fine with me.
Colin McSherry said they're definitely going Edmonds. Nope. Riley in here, Riley McCary, as our Celtics were losing, as last time we checked, saying, ladies and gentlemen, the party is right. What's up, Riley? We love that you're in here. Amazement said, man, I was close. Oh, well, 1 pick off. TJ Rose said, I'm surprised they picked him. Playboard Jordy said, are you good in Madden by any chance? Dave sucks. I'm good. Tevin said, Oakland needs secondary. Well, Derwin James is on the board, so I can totally see them going. Riley said, Sean looking fly. What's up, buddy?
Yeah.
Is Boston losing? Yeah, Boston's still losing.
7.
Suck it, Riley. Amazement 717. Davenport has potential, but has to learn technique. That's why I dropped. Good pick, though. Exactly. He's got to become an NFL player, but he also doesn't need to start right away. I think that's the biggest thing. What's up? Tevin said, outside of Cam Jordan, who else was getting pressure and sacks for New Orleans? Well, that's the reason why they took him, but the thing is that he's going to be able to learn from a guy like Cam Jordan, and they still need upfront help. So he's not going to be needed. Again, this is kind of like who went that I said this? Or I think it was earlier with Oakland, possibly looking at a guy like Edmonds or Davenport. Is if you're pairing him with already a stud, he's not going to need to do as much work as you think. It's gonna make his job easier because they're gonna be focusing on guys like Cam Jordan. And also, you look in the middle, they just took the dude from I'm blanking on his name, Louisville Cardinal defensive tackle. They took him last year or 2 years ago, defensive tackle from Louisville. I'm looking it up, but he was hurt last year. at some point, but he ended up turning and showing some promise in the middle. Sheldon Rankins. Again, he can start to pressure the quarterback, start creating more havoc, and with Davenport's speed, if he's able to jump off, he's going to be able to blow past some older tackles in the league.
Yeah, no, I like what you're saying because it's the guys fitting into the system and pairing up with established players. I think you're right in that aspect. For me, though, I'm always on the fence with guys like this, though. It's like, yes, they dominate a lower level of competition. Yes, they look the part, but what will they do when they have to face up against fully sized, fully trained athletes in the NFL? And that's where I'm like, he should stack up. In every right, he should stack up. But I've just seen so many busts coming off the edge rushers in the NFL in the first round that at this point, like, I'm just terrified. I'm almost at a point where I'm just like, you're all going to be busts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and 3 of you will be amazing people, 100% guaranteed.
Yep.
But it's just so hard to pick them because they all bring very close attributes. Ranger selection's in.
Let's see. They go Colton Miller, offensive tackle. So you look at the Raiders' line was not that great last year. Going Colton Miller, probably the biggest reach so far. I'm not a massive fan of this pick because Derwin James is still on the board, and the fact that he's still available is absolutely insane. Colton Miller, though, a guy that Mel Kiper loves, had a great combine, has a lot of tools, and we'll see how he does in the NFL.
Huge.
He's going to need some time to develop, though. But, yeah, he's big, had a great combine. I'm not a fan of this pick, though. I think you need more help in that secondary and not with that offense. I think this is a misstep by the Raiders here with Derwin James on the board.
You saw what happens when their quarterback's hurt. That is a worthless team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just shut it down for the season at that point. So you go out, you get somebody who can guard his left side, who can lock down that left tackle position. I think that's an absolutely solid pick. I don't know if the value was there for them.
Baltimore trades pick to the Bills.
What?
So the Bills probably...
Are they going to come back for Edmonds?
They're probably either coming back for Edmonds or Derwin. So that's a nice move there. And I think Seattle is also talking about that, so we'll look it up here. Again, Colton Miller, though, people compare him to Nate Solder. He has the body, he has the tools. I think he's going to need some time, though. I'm not a big fan of this pick for the Raiders.
He's a friggin' guy.
Because you need to address the defensive side. Let's see. Yeah, that Raider pick was in quickly. Let's see. Oakland needs secondary. Yes, they did.
Yeah, I would have heavily leaned on the defensive end, but I can respect their desires to protect their quarterback. So, fair enough.
Raiders need another linebacker to help Khalil Mack. They need a lot of help on that defensive side, so that's why I don't like that pick.
Yeah.
Let's
Good thing
see.
they traded back. Let's put it that way.
Playboy Jordy said you look like Josh Rosen.
Is that a compliment?
He's not ugly. So they
I'm
flipped
gonna take a
16.
compliment. You know,
They
I'll
flipped
take that.
16 and 22, and then Ravens get a 3rd round pick, and the Bills get a 5th round pick. So
Okay.
I like that trade for Buffalo.
Yeah, that's pretty much fair value.
And well, we'll see where they go here, whether it's Derwin or Tremaine Edmonds. But
yeah.
hey, if they come away with Josh Allen, Tremaine Edmonds, two
That's
guys with
a hell of a haul.
a lot of potential. Guys that will need work, but 2 guys with a lot of potential.
Right, and I think that's the big thing for this Bills team. You saw, like you said, this was coming off of a playoff team last year, and I think that this team honestly overachieved. Like, for what they had on paper, they overachieved. I'm not going to be ashamed to say it. You can call me out on it if you want to, but I was not high on this team. I think that going with a young player in Edmonds would be amazing here because, again, he could be the linchpin of that growing defense going forward. You've got a young guy, a leader on defense, a young guy, leader on offense. It's very similar to what the Bears did. That's half the reason I'm in. I buy in on that system. I buy in on this. Honestly, though, like, what? I'm just trying to think. I'm like, if they didn't go Edmonds, who else would your guy be here?
Derwin James.
You still think Derwin would be a good pair up there?
He's the best player. He's the best player on the board. So I mean, I think that's the thing. And you addressed the cornerback situation with Tre'Davious White last year. And I think again, we'll possibly see if they go with Derwin James to help that secondary. And Derwin James did not have an injury. He did back in 2016. It was a knee injury. The biggest knock on him in my reading of him is I don't think he has great football senses yet. I think that he's a great athlete, and again, he puts dedication into the film work, from what I hear. But again, I don't think the senses are there. I think he's not quick enough yet as a safety, but I think he's got all the tools to do that. Bills select, again with their second pick. They did have 12 and 22 coming into this draft. Now they're selecting 7 and 16. So Bills not waiting to make any moves, and they go Tremaine Edmonds. So my idea is here, you look at Sean McDermott, they go after athletic linebackers. Yeah. You see them bringing in Luke Kuechly. You see Thomas Davis. I think this is kind of a Sean McDermott pick. This kid's still 19 years old, absolutely insane. Comes from a great NFL background, a football background. He's still super young. I think he's got a ton of potential though. And in a Bills team that is pretty young in general and just made the playoffs, I think it's a nice pick. Going to take a while for him to become an NFL player, but if the Bills are able to put enough work in him and he's able to take in those teachings, he could be a dangerous player.
Yeah, I think as long as he comes in with an open mind and ready to learn, like, what he brings to the table athletically is what makes him special. He's someone who can play right up front against those offensive linemen and be able to get penetration, be able to go out and make things happen for you. I love what they did, and I'm just kind of weirded out how it got here, though. Like, I didn't love Allen. I still think they went with the wrong Josh. But at the same time, like I said, getting that guy on your offense to be the captain, quarterback, be the leader, and then on defensive, you go out and get one of the youngest players in the draft, and someone who, like you said, maybe not the day one superstar, but he's someone who can be there for you long term and who can grow tons of top end potential with this kid. Whew. But oh my God.
All right, let's check. So the Chargers are now on the clock. They needed nose tackle help with Brandon Mebane, and I think he's a free agent. I mean, he's just old too. Mebane's been in the league for a while, and I think Corey Lujet is on a contract here.
That Celtics score is tied up though, by the way.
Oh, so Celtics are tied up with the Bucks, by the way.
Sorry, I can't not look.
I think this is gonna be where Derwin goes though. Adrian Phillips and a die in the secondary there. I think adding a playmaker like Derwin James will probably be the move. I think if they do go out though, they're probably going to take a secondary player here, in my mind, because that front seven's great in Los Angeles. They don't really need secondary help. They don't really need offensive line help.
Yes.
It's maybe they go with a wide receiver, because outside of Keenan Allen, they don't. I mean, they just went with Mike Williams out. So I think this is secondary here, especially with the nose tackles being off the board. Because Deron Payne and Vita Vea off the board, unless they want to go Taven Bryan from Florida.
Ooh, I'm still more towards best player on the board right now. Like, this is a team where you just trust. I think you've got a lot of good pieces in place right now. I just go best player on the board, but really just the value there. I don't know. I'm starting to worry about Derwin James. Like, is there something that they know that we don't about him? Mm-hmm. Why is someone who is mocked anywhere from 11 now still on the board at 17?
But we had him going late in our draft too. So he had a fall in our draft too.
Yeah.
So
we had quarterback mania go down too.
I think Derwin was really liked by a lot of NFL scouts, and also most of these teams needed safeties. But the thing with Derwin is he's not the same. He doesn't have the same versatility that Minka does. Minka obviously on a higher profile team.
Yeah.
Minka, quicker. I still think Derwin's probably going to go top 20 though. I don't think he gets past Dallas. I don't think it's a fall, but I don't think it's drastic.
Okay. Nothing to be concerned about yet. But he's still your best player on the board, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Derwin James is still the best player on the board.
Alrighty.
But again, it doesn't mean he needs to go right now.
No, I understand.
So,
there's fits and there's everything up there, but it is just one of those things where I start looking now that we're hitting the second half of the first round, and I'm looking around and seeing who's still up.
A lot of people saying Oakland always reaching, nothing new. We got 30 people in here, so we want to thank everyone. You guys are
absolutely. That's awesome.
It's been a consistent 30, so you guys are awesome. Hey, look, they're in the draft room. Where's Colin Cowherd? He said he was going to be in the draft room.
For the Chargers?
Yeah, do you see Colin Cowherd anywhere?
No.
Where's the not a mock draft guy?
Not a mock 13.2.
Where is he? Oh, Colin Cowherd's a liar.
Check out his Twitter.
I see Anthony Lynn in there.
I see a handful of guys on the right side, but he might be hiding over there.
All right. Well, Colin Cowherd's a big liar. We'll see what happens though.
He's calling you out, Colin.
I've called Colin out many times. All right, let's get this in. Let's get all these guys. Jets look like a sleeper to make noise for a playoff spot. I don't know about that. They had a really nice season, but I think they over-succeeded last year. But, hey, if Sam Darnold has a great year, we've seen what, Jared Goff.
He's not going to start for him.
I'm just saying, if he comes up, he's going up against Teddy Bridgewater, who has no knees, and he's going up against a gym teacher. He could start.
That's one of the best teachers around, though.
He could start for them. Let's catch up on the comments. What is the chances Oakland took Colton Miller just because the Broncos took Chubb? I don't think so. I think they liked their player and went with him. Oakland reaching, nothing new. Ton of trades going on. Nice job, Bills. MPJ to the Bulls. I bet Brad's in here. Thanks, Christian, for commenting that. Can the Bills get Ridley? I think that would have been an okay spot, but I like the pick of Edmonds more than Ridley. What are the Chargers going to do? Again, I think they're probably going to go with Derwin James. The pick is in. Or they possibly could go Taven Bryan from Florida.
Yeah.
If the Chargers or Seahawks don't take Derwin, then he'll follow the Patriots. I love it. I would not be opposed because we need a fill-in for Patrick Chung. And Derwin James, hell yeah. A kid who loves football. You can teach football senses to Derwin James with Bill Belichick.
That man could teach a rock to play football better than half the Browns.
Pats are getting closer, though. You think anyone reaches for Van Der Esch, linebacker from Boise State? I don't think this is a reach now.
Well,
17 to 30 is his range.
Do you believe in all the medical stuff that came out about him like yesterday, where it was like supposedly he's got some health conditions that might cap his NFL playing time, and he's denying them, his doctor's denying them, but leaked reports say this is a thing?
I think that stuff, it's strategic the way it's coming out.
Okay.
So that's something where a Rashaan Evans, I'm not saying this is true though, a Rashaan Evans agent might be doing that because he wants his player to go first.
Okay.
If the Chargers see it to follow the Patriots, Patriots get closer. I'm nervous because I want Lamar Jackson. Sean, are you excited to see Lamar Jackson fall? Yes, I'm pumped.
He is like trying to contain himself. I can notice.
This is why I'm nervous.
Sean's like getting the tweaks.
This has been the quickest NFL draft ever. And Derwin James is off the board. Told you that he'd be going here.
Talked about him for about 4 picks now. He is a fantastic safety. Really the biggest thing here for me is this fit, though.
He verbally committed to FSU at 14.
What?
All right, keep going about
do
Derwin.
that?
Keep going about Derwin.
You can do that?
I guess so.
My kid's gonna verbally commit somewhere at like age 7.
Yeah.
I'm starting early.
I'm playing for the University of Michigan. See me there next year. They're not going to get that kid Shea Patterson from Ole Miss. They're going to take me as their quarterback. But I think this is a great pick.
Yeah, I think it was an absolute need for them, and as far as fit is concerned, adds some absolutely necessary coverage in the secondary. It's a smart player who can definitely play. What's the word I keep looking for? Spy is not the word, but basically that's what he does. It's someone who can track the quarterback's eye. You can track where the ball is going to go. He knows how to put himself in the best position to break up passes. I think he is somebody who is, I don't want to say, he's not a game changer, but he's a very good player in the secondary.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing, too, again, people talk about this all the time, is that he puts so much dedication into film work. So that's the one thing is that
student of the game.
Yeah, he's a kid that's going to be consistently trying to get better. So that's one thing that you love seeing out of these young kids. Let's see. Seattle takes Derwin. Nope. Sorry,
Nope.
Killer Peanuts said Collar is there. He just doesn't have his makeup on, so he's unrecognizable. He took off his wig.
Oh my God! When he dyed his hair, that hurt.
Amazement says, who's the next QB taken? Number 23, the New England Patriots select Lamar Jackson, quarterback out of Louisville. Amazement says, where does Geis go? I think he goes to Seattle if they don't trade back. I think that's a possibility. Or I think he goes to Detroit at 20. And if not, I can see Washington trading back up to get him.
Really?
Because they love Darius Geis.
Really? Wow.
Even with the whole thing that he might be a liar. Seahawks trade the pick to the Packers.
Oh, shit.
So Lamar Jackson isn't going. I just called that, too, that they're going to be trading. They're making a trade. But yeah, Schefter has been reporting that the Seahawks were a team that were looking to trade back. A team that really was decimated this offseason, really had a lot of changes.
Yeah. Now
Now trying to accumulate more picks. As a Bears fan / Patriots fan, I don't like to see Green Bay trading up. That means they're probably going to be getting a good player here, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Maybe a Calvin Ridley.
Ooh, you lose Jordy Nelson, you bring in a Calvin Ridley, a guy who is a stud at route running. He is a consistent wide receiver. Not someone who has that top-end speed who's going to burn you, but at the same time, he has been the product of – he has just
productivity, the ideal of productivity throughout college. I would like the pick here. I'm a little, but are you one of those guys who doesn't even think Ridley's the best at the wide receiver position? Do you think they go?
No, I think Calvin Ridley's the best prospect at wide receiver.
Okay.
I think he's I think he's the safest pick.
I've heard Sutton jumping him in a lot of mocks in the last week. I don't know if that's just we're getting all antsy after 6 months of talking about these guys. We're all trying to fidget around last minute, but I've seen a lot of rise on his stock. So that's one of the ones where I see the fit. I think Green Bay Ridley makes perfect sense in my mind. But at the same time, I wonder about Cortland Sutton.
A question was asked on, is this the most, let's see, it was Amazement asked, is this a record number of trades in the first round? I looked it up. I can't find anything that gives me a definite answer, yes or no. And I'm not going to look back through every single year for picks. But I mean, I don't think this is atypical of what's happened before.
Usually, there's more action in the top 10.
I think usually you see the back end is where most of the trades happen, in the first round. So the fact that they're happening now in this this late range, like 5 and after, I think that's more interesting. Chargers with Hayward and Derwin secondary, not bad at all.
No.
Let's see. Playboy George just said Lamar. All right, so we're all caught up on all your comments. Good, thank you guys. 32 people are watching in here. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. We're so pumped that all of you guys are in here. The fact that we've been able to keep this number has been awesome. It means we're entertaining you guys, and we love to do that. Right after this, we're going up to the studio, and we're recording reactions with Ricky. And Ricky took the day off tomorrow to make sure those videos get up. So tomorrow we will have draft reactions from me, Dave, and Ricky up on the channel in less panicked mode.
I say Sean will actually breathe at some point.
In less reactionary mode. But yeah, super fun to be doing with you guys. So we're glad. Green Bay's on the clock right now. 3:42 left. They just traded up with Seattle. We'll get those details.
It has to be wide receiver though, right? Because they sniped in front of Dallas, and that's the clear
great point
wide receiver. That is a team that just lost Des Bryant, who I know they underutilized the hell out of. I think he's still a quality wide receiver, but they're a team who is looking for replacement to their number one, and they just sniped right in front of them. I love it because the Dallas-Green Bay matchups have always been fun. Kuiper's board, best available. Lamar, Tavon, and Calvin Ridley right there.
But that's the one thing is they're jumping the Cowboys. The Cowboys can still take wide receiver, but they're jumping to make sure they get their guy.
Right.
So that's a great point.
They're not playing the game where people are like, oh, well, we'll just take whatever's left. No, we're going to go guarantee we get our guy, which I, again, respect that. It's like if the Browns had done Saquon at 1 and been like, we'll just take whoever falls to us at 4.
Seahawks move back 7 spots and get a 3rd and a 6th.
3 to 6. Yeah, all right.
And apparently Rappaport knows the pick, but I'm not going to say what it is.
The pick is in. How long do we gotta wait?
He said the Packers get one of their top players who they originally targeted. He did not say who they picked.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see who it is. Cowboys should draft Romo. Yeah, it'd be a great pick.
Yep.
I think Green Bay's going to take Calvin Ridley. I think Dave agrees.
Yep, 100%. I think he is the ideal fit for that team, and there's not much thought you need really.
However, Victor Wayne throwing out Jair Alexander, the cornerback from Louisville, they need corner help. Green Bay, so that'd be an interesting.
They do, but they pissed off Aaron Rodgers. they have to correct their wrong.
Yeah.
You got to right the wrongs. You got to keep Aaron Rodgers happy because you sure as fuck don't want to piss that man off. He is your franchise.
I mean, he already cut out his family, so.
Oh my God, that was just a fucked up situation. Yeah. Immaturity in that family, but yeah.
Oh, the Packers moved back. What am I talking about? Forgot they moved back.
Yes.
Moved back to 20. I totally forgot about that because the Saints moved up. So now they still get their guy at 18, which is again that's like a great pick. I think they said they took 2. I'm freaking out, but yeah. Packers move back originally from 14 to 27, now moving back up to 18. Great move, and Green Bay Packers take Jair Alexander, quarterback from Louisville.
I feel like we got sniped there on that pick.
No, Victor Wayne said question mark.
Oh, okay.
So he didn't throw it out there.
Well, then you sir deserve bonus points because I did not see that coming. I thought for sure everything lined up saying this is a wide receiver, but Jair Alexander,
It's a good ad in the secondary. They needed help there.
They definitely need cornerback help.
They could not stop shit.
Sam Shields, Casey Hayward, guys that that weren't healthy. They moved on from.
They had 4th,
Bad
5th,
moves.
6th stringers out there.
Yeah.
I can't argue with the need. I can't argue with where he's picked at. The value is right. I just had a priority of going with wide receiver, go with Calvin Ridley. But Jair Alexander, by no means a bad pick here.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of a reach. I thought Josh Jackson would be a corner that goes off before him. However,
That's
again,
a preference.
This is a prime position. You need cornerback help, especially with the Bears making upgrades to their wide receiving core with Allen Robinson. You look at Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs in Minnesota. You look at Golden Tate, Marvin Jones in Detroit. Jay Alexander is a much-needed addition to the Packers. I think it's a reach, but again, people always have a negative connotation with the name reach.
Right.
If it works out, nobody one cares if you reach.
Thank you.
No one remembers in 5 years if it was reached. So again, Jair Alexander was always a first-round talent. Moved up and down, fluctuated a bit, but he ends up going 18 overall. So congrats to him. Ran a 4.38. 4.38 at the combine. Was a kid that was not really touted as a high prospect coming out of high school. So we'll see what he does. Was injured in that 2017 season though. We're glad though it didn't really destroy his career because he's still a first round pick. So congrats to Alexander, but screw the Packers.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty well.
Yep.
Fucked back.
I mean, and someone said, Amazement said he was a high-rated cornerback. He was. Again, he was a first-round talent. I just had a higher rating on Josh Jackson. I know he was a one-year starter in Iowa, but he also led the NCAA in interceptions. Also, big, physical guy on the outside. I really love Josh Jackson from Iowa, still on the board. So it's going to be interesting to see where he falls. If he falls all the way to 31 and the Patriots end up getting Josh Jackson and Lamar Jackson, I will
the
Jackson dudes. I would probably.
You need 3 more Jacksons.
I'll probably strip. I mean,
Sean,
I'll
you
be
need 3
excited.
more Jacksons. You can have the Jackson 5 though. Let's be honest. Fucking do it out.
The Jackson 5.
Oh shit, Jerry's
got
on
a
the phone.
shit-eating grin on his fucking face.
Say,
wait,
he's getting a little passionate.
Wait, they're in Frisco, Texas?
Why are they at Frisco? That's where their actual facility is at.
But he was just there. He was
Did
already
he
at the
leave?
draft. Wasn't he?
I don't know.
No, Jerry wasn't.
I didn't see Jerry at the draft.
Maybe Frisco was where they're, because they were always in Arlington, right? I think that maybe AT&T is in Frisco. Anyways,
Look it up because I'm curious now.
surely Cowboys will take Ridley. I think they can go Cortland Sutton. Texas kid from college. I think that he could totally be a pick here. He's more similar to Des Bryant. So I think it'd totally be a pick here where Cortland Sutton could go over Ridley. That building will go nuts if they don't go Ridley with Des gone. What would the Pets trade up? I don't think they're trading up. They haven't traded up yet. They're not trading up. Detroit's not taking quarterback. Cincinnati's not taking quarterback. And at 22, the Bills moved up, right? The Bills moved up 16 to the Ravens. So the Ravens now at 22 are going to be an interesting pick. But I don't think the Patriots will be able to move up.
You think they're going to just play cool?
I think, again, in Patriots' nature, they're going to take guys at 23 and 31.
Or they're going to trade back.
I don't think they're going to. I don't think they're going to trade up. If most likely they're going to trade back
Christ.
from that 31 position.
That man is terrifying.
Full
body paint's a bold move, people. It's not for everybody.
What would they trade up though? I probably a third and a fifth with a flip pick swap.
I don't know if you need to do that much. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're going from.
Yeah, but we see that's typical is usually a third and a fifth, but they don't have that third. So maybe a second, third flip. But it won't need to be too much if they do want to trade up. But I highly doubt that they're going to do that. The star is in Frisco, so there we go.
Yep.
Josh Jackson does play for the Suns. He is also a football player. Very two common last names and a first name.
Yeah.
Who does Seattle pick? Seattle now at 27. It's going to be really dependent on the board and how it falls. So I can't say who they will pick. I think they're probably going defense, though.
They have to go defense.
Yeah.
I think they take the...
Well, unless they have a wide receiver that they like.
That's true. Here's the weird thing, though. Like, they don't take corners in the first round, usually. They don't take second... Like, they always go for these big, lengthy guys who have the physical abilities. and they train them up to fit, what they need. So it'd be weird if there was a corner on the board at that point. They'd be in potential position.
They also don't have an offensive line. And someone asked, Raphael Walker asked, where does Will Hernandez go, the guard out of UTEP? Seattle, 27, could totally be a position there. So I think Seattle, offensive line, wide receiver help, and then also...
they need help in the secondary.
Yeah, secondary help, for sure. Is probably going to be where Seattle goes. It just depends on who will be available at that pick. What are the chances Lions go tight end? I think this early, probably not. I think with Darius Geis on the board, if he's still there, I doubt Dallas is going to take him. I think Detroit will probably go Geis.
I think Geis might. I don't know that. I've got like a 20% chance they'd actually go Geis. I think there's other needs they go for.
Where do you think they go then?
I think they're going for. I want to say secondary. I want to peg them as a team who just wants to shore that secondary up. I keep looking. Oh, what?
They'll say the pick is in when they're ready to announce it, Dave. Keep going.
Well, sorry. It's not like they picked us. Did I blink and miss something? Everyone's cheering. No, I think they want to. In my mind, I would go for a secondary. I think that team is already a very good team. Stafford's a goddamn monster quarterback. Their offense pretty much rotates through him. It's not one linchpin of any other player. Yes, they need help with the running back, but at the same time, this is a deep running back draft class. It's not something where if you get guys here, like you feel like, oh, we can get value with the other roles later. I think you get value at running back later on this draft and get pieces to that running back by committee setup, like you talked about.
But the thing is they have LeGarrette Blount. They signed him. They have Amir Abdullah. I think they can add to that committee by getting Geis. The thing is they haven't had a 100-yard rusher since 2013. All right, they need a running back. I think it's 75% they go Darius Geis. I think there's probably a small chance they go tight end with Eric Ebron being gone. Probably a Hayden Hurst out of South Carolina. Or they go with secondary. I don't like any of the tight ends in the first.
I don't.
But
same here.
tight end's still a needed position.
Yep.
So
value doesn't line up, but if they like somebody, sure, go for it. If you're in love with him that much and you don't want to, risk the chance that he's not there by your next go round, fair enough, take him. But in my mind, I don't have a tight end I love in this draft 100%. There's not one. There's not one that like this dude is gonna be the next anybody.
Victor Wang said Steelers traded with the Raiders. Martavis Bryant is gone. What's the trade besides Martavis though? So that's not going to affect the draft order coming up because it's Dallas, Detroit, Cincinnati. But we'll see what happens here. But yeah, Harold Landry's still on the board as well. He was slotted to go at latest 25th to the Titans, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see. You throw the trade in there?
I'm confused. I've not heard that trade. Where are you seeing that from?
Victor Wayne threw it in there in the chat.
Okay.
We're not going to see it right now because
right, they're doing the whole Dallas Cowboy thing.
But it's also not going to affect the draft order coming up. So it was Steelers traded Martavis Bryant to the Raiders for their 3rd round pick.
Oh, okay.
So nothing that's going to affect this draft day 1. It will draft tomorrow's day 3. Martavis Bryant, though, big body wide receiver to go with John Gruden and Amari Cooper and Derek Carr out in Oakland. I like the move.
To replace Crabtree. I was pissed that he moved on, but at the same time, I get it.
Martavis Bryant also needed a scenery change.
Start?
Yeah.
I think we're both like, yeah, he made it very clear he was not happy with his role.
MVP Buzzweed up in the comments saying you guys look sexy. What's up, Buzz?
I know you got a rough life and schedule, but you should hit up, swung by.
He has a kid, man.
I know, that's why I was like.
And him and Juice Man just recorded a podcast.
Oh, did they record today?
Cowboy Select. Cowboy fans are happy. Leighton Vander Esch, inside linebacker from Boise State. So we talked heavily about the wide receiver position for the Dallas Cowboys. But we also got to look at that defense for Dallas. They didn't have a lot of pressure on that front 7, and also got to look at that guy in the middle, Sean Lee. When he's healthy, he is absolutely fantastic.
Yep. But
he is never healthy. So Leighton Vander Esch, a linebacker, I've seen him, the ability to play inside linebacker and outside linebacker. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. But he's got a ton of athleticism, a nice body for an NFL player. It's going to need some development for him to turn into a stud. But and as a Bears fan, I hate Boise State linebackers. Cough, cough, Shane McClellan. But this
that was literally cancerous.
this kid shows a lot. So again, if he's healthy, he's able to take some from Sean Lee. I think it's a nice pick by Dallas. Definitely not a reach. I just question him, and I just
They're
question
busting out the Idaho footage from 8 on 8.
Well, they're busting out all of his
high school, yeah.
I question his fit in the Dallas defense.
I think fit wise would be okay. My big thing is if none of those medical concerns are legit, I'm okay with it. I think talent wise, he deserves to be a first round pick. Late one is fine. That's probably right where he belongs. But I just keep going back to the medically cleared. All right, as long as they check, dot the I's, cross the T's. I trust Jerry Jones. I don't trust Jerry Jones for shit. I trust the Dallas Cowboys organization and medical training staff that they're all in on him.
Oh yeah, in amazement even throwing out they have Jordan Nelson too. So now Cooper, Nelson, and Martavis Bryant. Love that. Love that wide receiving core for Oakland. Buzzweed, we recorded tonight. Yes, you did. Juice Man saying Bears won the draft, boys. Keep grinding. Smith for the win. Dave loves the pick. I'm a little bit iffy on Roquan. Buzzweed saying look for Kirk Heinrich to go soon. True game changer. Playboy Jordy real quick throwing out. Would you be in the NFL or NBA?
If I had a choice, NBA, 100%. I've already had enough concussions. Fuck that.
I'd probably do NBA too. There's more money for less physical play. I'm also a huge pussy. Amazement. Sorry guys, I hate Boise State players. We've had bad luck with them.
Yep.
Name the last great Boise State NFL pro.
We'll wait.
I couldn't tell you one.
We'll wait.
Kellen Moore. Who's that one wide receiver? That one wide receiver who played for Detroit. He didn't pan out. Shea McClellan, as I referenced a little bit earlier. A running back came from Boise State, though, I think. Shea McClellan said that. Definitely didn't work out in Chicago. Was a huge reach there.
Let's see, the best players out of Boise State last year, their highest was a 5th, don't care. They had
Doug Martin.
Camila Cora, Jay Ajayi.
Oh yeah, JJ.
Yeah.
JJ was.
Yeah, so he was good.
That was the running back I was thinking of. JJ was a Boise State running back.
DeMarcus Lawrence went to
DeMarcus
Cowboys.
Lawrence.
Yep.
Okay, I'll stop.
Charles Leno Jr. I know.
Not terrible.
Jimmy Taylor, Shea McClellan, Doug Martin, the muscle hamster himself.
Yeah. Doug Martin. All right, I take that back. Boise State. My apologies.
George Iloka.
Okay. My apologies.
He's going to fuck with you.
My apologies, Boise State. All right. We got some comments. Richard Taylor.
Titus Young.
Titus Young. Yes, thank you.
Yep.
Richard Taylor throwing out. Where did Calvin Ridley go? He is still available.
He has not gone anywhere.
Richard. So. Still on the board, Lamar, Action Jackson, Taven Bryan.
We are hitting into a scary area for Sean.
Calvin Ridley, DJ Moore are the biggest, the best players available right now.
Coming up soon is your Patriots. Which one of those guys would you dream drop to your Patriots?
Do I have to answer that question?
I mean...
It's Lamar, Action Jackson.
All right.
I think he's the 4th best quarterback in this draft. I know people are like, that's it. He's the 4th best.
Just 4th best.
But you also saw the 3 of them go in the top 7.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a massive QB class. I love Tom Brady. He's the reason I'm a Patriots fan. Probably the only reason I'll be a Patriots fan is Tom Brady. But the succession plan will be filled by Lamar Jackson if they take him at 23. Again.
But are you unhappy with them not building for the now? You've got Tom Brady for the next
year. You have four picks, day 1 and day 2.
Okay.
You have 2 second-rounders, 2 first-rounders. You can address the tackle position in the second round and the first-round position. You can address the secondary in the second round. You can address the pass rush worries as well in the second round. I think that getting the quarterback for the future is big. Brian Hoyer's a backup quarterback right now. Getting Lamar Jackson, developing him, could create a succession plan for Tom Brady. Tom Brady, again, I love him. 40 years old, closing in on 41.
Yeah.
You're going to need to get that next quarterback for them, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time for Lamar Jackson to develop. I don't think Tom Brady's retiring this year. I don't think Tom Brady's retiring next year. I think he's still got 2 years, and you give Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick the ability to work with Lamar Jackson.
For 2 years to soak up that knowledge?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a scary prospect coming up. I don't know. But we'll see, because we still have, Cincinnati, Baltimore in between.
And Detroit, we've been waiting forever for the pick in.
Yeah, pick is in for Detroit. Let's see.
For about 5 minutes now.
Richard Taylor saying Pat's Ridley. I don't think they go with a wide receiver in the first round. I think they'll probably look in the second round if they're going to go with an early wide receiver. But even then, I'm not a fan of this wide receiver class. And we still have Gronk. We still have Julian Edelman. We still have Chris Hogan. We still have, returning from injury, the next Randy Moss. Malcolm Mitchell.
Jesus
There's still
Christ.
players.
I know you love that kid. He was actually pretty good. I'll give you credit.
He was good. Again, he's a third, fourth wide receiver.
Right.
I don't think wide receiver is a pressing need in the first 2 rounds for the Patriots. I'm Teddy Bruschi. What about Teddy? What about him?
Teddy Bruschi.
I love Teddy. Let's see. Calvin Ridley of the Ravens could be definitely interesting. Let's see what the Lions pick here. Lamar is going to be available, and they won't take him because Brady's insecure.
Let's take Calvin Ridley right now.
Honestly, you might be right. Killer Peanuts. Pick is in. Frank Ragnow, center from Arkansas.
Probably because we didn't expect him to go this early.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing is the question of whether it was going to be the James Daniels from Iowa or Ragnow from Arkansas as who would be the first center off the board. Lions don't have a great offensive line, so I'll give them that. And again, we talked about adding help to Matt Stafford.
Right.
We thought it was going to be coming in the running back department, but you get him some help on that front line. And that front line, losing guys like Riley Reef, who went to the Vikings, that offensive line needed some some bolstering. And again, this is a deep running back class, like Dave mentioned.
Yep.
So I don't think it's not a sexy pick in any way.
It is the opposite of a sexy pick.
For the Detroit Lions. But again, it's a pick that makes sense. I don't think any team has made an illogical pick in the way that
I see where they're going.
I see. I think that there's been some reaches, but nothing crazy. So again, I think Frank Ragnow right now. Again, he's gonna bolster that line for Detroit. I'm not crazy high on him. I like James Daniels more, a little bit more athletic of a player, but also Frank Ragnow is more of a center, a little bit bigger.
Yeah, he's extremely consistent too. That's one of the best things about it. So, I don't know. I think the pick is okay, and again, if your whole focus is around Matt Stafford staying upright, fair enough, because, like you said, adding a center not only does it keep him upright, but it also could help. I'll be honest, I didn't watch a ton of Frank Ragnow tape. I don't know how he is against setting up for the passing and rushing lanes. So if he's good enough to, be like, hey, we can open up some rushing lanes up front.
Yeah.
Maybe that works out for you in both areas because you pick up the running back later, and there you go, you're all set. But still, literally the least sexy pick of the day.
All right, Ravens maybe first team to take wide receiver perhaps. It's true. Calvin Ridley's still on the board. DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton all on the board.
Cardiac Cats, give me something right here.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Ravens do. I mean, they don't really need to address the defense. The defense is still good. I think getting a playmaker from Joe Flacco would help, but if they love Lamar Jackson, they can go Lamar Jackson 22. Mike 2K, our buddy on Twitter, shout out to Mike 2K,
What up?
said Pat's Josh Jackson or Lamar Jackson first. I said that they can go both, Lamar Jackson and Josh Jackson at 23 and at 31. I love it. I love both those players. Two of my favorite players in this draft, so I would absolutely love
Jackson
that.
and Jackson. That's Sean's dream right now.
Playboy Jordy said, where are the wide receivers?
No one was
Calvin
that
Ridley
good.
was the only guy in my mind that had a first round grade. So the fact that DJ Moore and Cortland Sutton aren't off the board isn't really too shocking to me. Calvin Ridley still being available though, that's shocking. Bengals pick is in. Maybe Calvin Ridley goes here. I know they have AJ Green and I know they have John Ross. Marvin Lewis hates John Ross.
They finna bungle it.
So maybe they take Calvin Ridley and go wide receiver back to back in the first round. Not saying it's gonna happen. Possibility though.
Yep. I understand.
Raphael Walker says, if Gronk doesn't return to the Pats, do they take a tight end? He just posted on Instagram about 3 days ago that he is returning to the Pats this season. So Gronk will be will be a Patriot this year. I think the Pats will take a tight end at some point in this draft, but probably late in the draft, not in the first 4 picks. There are much more pressuring needs, like a tackle, like pass rush. If Harold Landry's still available, I totally see the Patriots going there. I absolutely love Harold Landry as well. Or I also see them going secondary with the loss of Malcolm Butler. Even though Stephon Gilmore was fantastic, they do need help in the secondary, so I wouldn't be too shocked if they go secondary with 23. Let's see. When do you think Darius Geis is going to go from Xavier
I think he goes at the very latest. He goes 32.
to the Eagles?
Eagles lock him up end of the first round. I think he goes before them now. I 100% believe he has first round talent. It just goes to what we were talking about with the depth of the position and the impact of running back by committee really taking over.
Could the Ravens go Darius Geis?
Ooh.
Because they don't have a feature back, really. They've been relying on Alex Collins and who's the other guy?
I mean, honestly, yes, they could. They could. It's not something that I actually gave a lot of thought because I thought they had bigger needs, but at the same time, let me have the depth chart real quick. Ravens.
It was Alex Collins and I forget who else I'm blanking on. Let's see. Too many slot wide receivers in this draft. No guy that can scare you on the outside. That's true.
Give me a little Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead too, but he's off. I think they released Danny Woodhead.
Yeah.
And Billy Price is the pick for Cincinnati.
Damn.
Billy Price, a guy with injury problems, but he was said to be cleared for the start of training camp. So Billy Price, the center from Ohio State, again, not a sexy pick here for the Bengals, but a much needed one. Going to open up lanes for Joe Mixon, going to give more time for Andy Dalton to throw the ball, to get the ball to John Ross, to get the ball to A.J. Green. Again, it's tough to say that these are reaches when they're needs. And you're taking a guy who, again, would be an early second-round pick at the worst, and you're not going to be there in the second round. So, I don't think it's a little bit of a reach because he was more in the later half of my big board, but I still think that he's a guy that can really impact a team. So, it's tough to say a guy that is a reach when this team needed a center. So, Billy Price going to the Bengals. Good pick for the Bengals.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think, like Sean nailed it with the need over, perceived or the perception of value of the pick. If you need to go with a guy, poor Lamar Jackson.
He's about to be a Patriot, so I'm not too worried about him.
Oh, shit. Fair enough. Just to get back to the point about wide receivers in this draft, the point I made earlier about, the lack of production out of first-round talent, Corey Davis, Mike Williams, John Ross in the past year.
Yeah.
No, nobody's exploded. See, Corey Coleman, Will Fuller, Josh Doxson, Laquan Treadwell.
Will Fuller was really good. Coleman's been banged up.
He was hot and cold. Fuller was hot and cold.
Well, with Deshaun Watson, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ravens traded the pick to the Titans. Woo! They don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback.
He's gonna wet himself on camera.
They're going Harold Landry. They're jumping.
This is a dream for the Titans. Everything worked out for them well. It's a small jump, so hopefully it's not super costly. But they get the guy they wanted out of this. I like it. Sean, pace yourself on camera.
They're taking a
quarterback. On camera.
Lamar Jackson's going to be a little 23. If they don't take Lamar Jackson, I might.
What do you do if they don't take Lamar Jackson?
Depends on who they take.
All right.
If they take,
so you're not totally freaking out.
If they take Josh Jackson, I will be a happy boy.
Well, what if they decide to go with?
If they go offensive line, I'm going to put a bullet in my head. I am going to put a bullet in my head.
What if we're reaching real deep in the well on the O-line now?
Well, they're not reaching too deep because I still think the best tackle is available in Connor Williams. But I also didn't pick Connor Williams in the live mock draft.
Nope.
Because I don't think he's a first-round talent. So.
With multiple picks in the second.
Jesus Christ. The Titans traded the pick, and I think they're taking Harold Landry. It's been the pick that's been mocked to him. They need a pass rusher, and he fits the scheme. Yep. So Harold Landry's got to be the pick, and they're jumping. They're jumping teams from 25th to 22 to get this pick.
Seems like a win to me.
Oh Jesus Christ! I hate the draft. Let's see. Best pick tonight to me was Arizona getting Rosen. I agree, Dave.
Yeah, 100% nailed it. I think the value is there. They moved up. Well done. Well done.
Colin McSherry said, Sean, are you excited with who the Pats take at 23? They're going to end up with Ridley, Josh Jackson, or Action Jackson. I would probably be most bummed by Ridley, most amped for Lamar, and I'd be content with Josh Jackson. I'd be happy with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like they don't really need Ridley.
No,
they literally just roll out anybody they want at wide receiver. It doesn't even matter, and then you have Tom Brady, so it'll work.
Yeah.
So
I would rather trade for a veteran wide receiver than Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a beautiful prospect, though. I mean, he's like for a wide receiver, you look at what you want in a wide receiver: athletic, great route runner, has proven that he can be great in big opportunities, Calvin Ridley is a playmaker. But again, just for the Patriots' needs, I don't think wide receiver is big on that list. I think they should go tackle. I think they should go secondary. I think they should go quarterback well before that. And University of Iowa is being shown. I don't think for Josh Jackson, though. I think it's just for the thing they do during the third quarter. But I don't know why. Anyways, Broncos getting Chubb was good. Yes, it was. If Ridley is available at 28, do the Steelers take him? I highly doubt he's there at 28. I think he's probably going to go to Carolina at 24.
Yeah, that would be an ideal fit considering their sad and sorry state of wide receivers.
Oh, Tristan had Price going to the Lions. So close to correct. You were pretty close on
Yeah,
that. You got the position right, and you just missed him by one pick.
Sweet.
So I'd say tip your cap to that one. They're showing James Daniel.
Is he in like pajamas?
Former center to. I think so. Who cares?
That's pretty dope.
Why not? He's at a bar. I think looks like. Anyways.
That's why Iowa was up there. Yep. James Daniels.
Lamar to the Pats.
Best pure center in the
John
draft.
the man. Jan the man. Landry can play up and down on the line. Yes, he can. Kid's super athletic. Kid was only held back. He would have been a top 20 pick if he wasn't injured the past season. Titans could take linebacker Rashaan Evans. Yes, they could. Until it happened. Shit. Ridley and McDaniel's system is scary. I think if he's available at 31, then maybe, but I don't think they're going to take Calvin Ridley at 23.
There we go.
Titans select. They trade up with the Baltimore Ravens. I believe the Ravens will just slide back to 25. I haven't gotten the news yet. They take Rashaan Evans, inside linebacker, Alabama. So maybe their thought process was that New England was going to take Evans at the inside linebacker position. We look at the Patriots. They do need some help at the inside linebacker spot. Dante Hightower, former Alabama linebacker as well, has been great, but he's also been injured.
Very true.
So that's one thing that maybe they were thinking they needed to jump Rashaan Evans, but
he stays on the field. He's a true 3-down backer. I like the fact that he can both come up, play the rush, but he can drop in coverage just as easily. Like, he's a versatile guy. He's exactly what you want to be one of the staples on your defense moving forward. I think it's a solid pick.
All right, Patriots are now on the board, everybody. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Watch Sean nervously sweat.
Wesley asked, who do Falcons take? Taven Bryan for defensive tackle.
Yeah, that's a need.
Titans are taking Josh Jackson with. Playboy Jordy Titans are taking Josh with. Josh Jackson to me has the size to deal with top wide receivers in the NFL. I would tiger him soon. I think so too. If the Patriots get him at 31, I'd be happy. But I also think the Vikings at 30 will probably scoop him up. Victor Wang saying Pats could take Josh Jackson. I think it's a possibility. They need a second corner. He's got the body size that's typical of a New England Patriots cornerback. He's really good on the outside. He's a ball hawk.
Yeah, you're starting to unfortunately realize that Action Jackson's unlikely here.
No, I don't think he's unlikely.
No, but less likely than Josh.
No, I think the more likely pick will be a lineman.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, that's the biggest need. I just don't know. I never know with Bill Belichick, and I always want somebody else, and whoever he takes always pans out. I didn't want Chandler Jones. They took Chandler Jones. He was a stud. I didn't want Dante Hightower. I was wrong.
Yeah.
So fucking wrong.
So far, I'm happy with both of those, yeah.
Man. It's 6 minutes. It's going to be the longest 6 minutes of my life. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Until the next, 10 minutes for their next pick.
Calm down. It's Lamar, dude. Pats Nation, baby.
I say, if this man told you an hour ago, basically.
That was Brandon. And Brandon said that they were going to trade up.
Oh, okay.
So he could still be a Patriot, but let's see.
It just didn't happen the way we were told.
Third Bama player taken in the first round, Rashaan Evans, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Jerome Payne. You are correct on that one. And Calvin Ridley can make it a fourth. Can make it a fourth. I don't know count. Ty McShay's at the board.
Don't do it.
He's got quarterbacks there.
Not Mason Rudolph.
No, God no.
Don't mock Mason
I
Rudolph.
want the two quarterbacks I want. Lamar Jackson, Kyle Aletta. The only two Patriot quarterbacks that I want.
Yep.
You're at 23 right now. Go get Lamar Jackson. Don't let the Ravens have a shot at him. Don't let the Steelers have a shot at him. Go out and get Lamar Jackson at 23. It's plain and simple. All right?
But you're afraid they're going Isaiah Wynn?
They could go Isaiah Wynn. And I think Isaiah Wynn, the guard
Could fit
tackle
right
combo could be great. I really love his tape. And being 6'2", he's undersized for the tackle position, but he played phenomenally at that Georgia spot, at that spot in Georgia. So, and now McShay's really talking, where would the Patriots go? They need a quarterback. He's thinking they're going to go quarterback in the first round, whether 23 or 31st. The departures.
Wow, that departure list is long.
Butler, Soler, Fleming, Amendola, Cooks, Lewis, Bennett. They bring in Nicholas. They bring in Shelton, Cordell Patterson, Jeremy Hill, Adrian Claiborne, Jason McCourty. Again, a lot going out that is going to hurt this New England Patriots team, but you still have Tom Brady. You still have Rob Gronkowski. You still have Julian Edelman. You still have Donta Hightower. You have Gilmore. You have now the McCourty
biggest
brothers.
Upside from the additions.
Biggest upside?
Yeah. Or like who are you happiest to pick up?
Danny Shelton. This kid, former #1 pick from Washington. I watched him all the time. I'm a half Washington Husky fan. This kid was Vita Vea before Vita Vea. Athletic kid, going to be great in the middle. I think this is a project that can turn Danny Shelton, take that talent, and turn him into a star. I loved Danny Shelton when they got him. I was super ecstatic.
I like it.
I think he was great. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez.
Could you see DJ Moore fall out of the first round?
Yes.
I don't think he was a first round pick.
I think there's a lot of hype of mocking 3 wide receivers going in the first round was unrealistic.
Watch, they go 1, 2, 3 here.
Amazing said, I want to see what McDaniels can do with Jackson. He doesn't have to be a Brady clone. No, not at all. Garoppolo was, he was technically, I don't want to say Garoppolo was a Brady clone. They were very similar, but again, it's all about the potential of Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
And Lamar Jackson is an athlete that we have not seen at that quarterback position since Michael Vick. His passing ability needs work, but you're going to give him that ability to work under Tom Brady, with Josh McDaniels, with Bill Belichick, and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't have a first-round grade, and they still turned him into the guy who just got a 5-year contract.
That Garoppolo kid's pretty good.
So we've seen the ability for them to develop high-level athletes and turn them into good quarterbacks. It's just going to be really, what is Lamar's mindset, and does he have that Patriot mindset to adopt to the culture, and then also really grow into a quarterback and become
he fits the scheme?
a great quarterback.
Do you think he can fit into the scheme, or do you think the scheme
100%.
changes with him?
I think the scheme might change a little bit, but this is a Patriot team that uses the shotgun most in the NFL and has used the shotgun most in the NFL since and the power saving mode.
You got right there. Power saving mode almost killed our draft.
All right, cool. Woo! TV almost shot. But no, this is a Patriot team that's used the shotgun most since 2007. They used the shotgun most last year. Lamar Jackson's going to be comfortable in the shotgun. Josh McDaniels is a guy that knows how to adapt and really evolve his game throughout the time as offensive coordinator of the Patriots, going to the pick is in, going to Denver, and then coming back to New England. I understand that he's been with Tom Brady for his whole career, or most of his career outside of when he went to Denver, but I still think Josh McDaniels is a great offensive mind. He's going to have the future, and I think he can draft the future with Lamar Jackson. Pick is in. Oh shit. Pats trade back. No. Breathe, dude. I'm trying my best. Pats are looking to trade. The pick is in.
The pick is in, and it's by the Patriots. They're not trading.
I was getting baby ready for bed. Did Pats take Lamar? Buzzweed, the pick is in. That's all I can tell you. At 23, the New England Patriots will select
blank.
Probably a dude from Western Kentucky who's like, a 4th-round talent.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right.
Stroke the furry walls, man.
I've never wanted to see Roger Goodell more in my life.
Oh, man.
I just think in the right system, Lamar Jackson could be
I agree. It has to be the right system. That's my concern, is your square peg round hole. He needs to be in the right system. And what we saw last year out of Houston, adapting their offense and what they could do was just spectacular. So I think, I'm not saying they're
Definitely not the same player. But I think you absolutely need to have the offensive coordinator on your side in order to have a product who is athletic and who has mobility. Like, oh God, we're unmuting, that's fine.
With the
And
pick in the 2018 NFL Draft,
there we go.
the New England Patriots select Isaiah Wynn.
Fuck!
Tackle.
God damn it!
I'm sorry, I jinxed that one a little bit. I knew it was coming. I didn't cheat, but I just knew it was coming.
All right, Isaiah Wynn, the guard tackle from Georgia. Patriots, again, need offensive line help.
Lost
He
that
played-
older guy.
Yeah, he played tackle. He played left side tackle in college. And again, the biggest knock on him is his size, 6'2". People are wondering about his ability to translate to the NFL to play tackle. But again, this guy's versatile. He can move around the line. And if the Patriots, worked him out and saw his ability, his athletic ability, and think he can translate to the NFL as a tackle position, I love it. You're protecting Tom Brady, and that's exactly what you need to do. That's MO number one. You need to protect Tom Brady. And Isaiah Wynn, again, the biggest knock is his size. He played against SEC competition, guys that are going in the first round, Taven Bryan, Daron Payne, and was able to help that Georgia team get as far as they did. I think Isaiah Wynn is a good talent. It's just really about how he will fit into the NFL, whether he's going to be a guard or a tackle. But I still think he has all of the abilities to be an NFL lineman.
Again, I think it's a solid fit for need. Yes, you're a little disappointed that they didn't go with the quarterback of the future, but at the same time, understand that it's the same situation the Giants were in. Do you take the guy who helps you the most now, or do you start building for the future? I know you said you have a plethora of picks, but I'm still satisfied with taking the guy who can help them now.
See you, Richard Taylor. Thanks for joining us, bud.
Thanks, man.
We appreciate you. You said fire Bill. I don't know about that. I still trust his abilities. And again, Kyle Lauletta's still there. And like Christian said, he could still be there at 31.
Jackson could be there at 31.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know about that. But the biggest thing was I'm worried about the Steelers, and I'm worried about the Saints. Saints out of that position.
Right.
So it's really right now, the Ravens have a spot at 25, the Steelers have a spot at 28. Those are the two teams I'm worried about. Other than that, Lamar can fall to 31, and other than that, Bill can still go away from taking Lamar Jackson even if he's at 31. So it's not a given that he will be there.
Bucks did wrap up that game, winning 97-86.
Yeah, Amazement just said Celtics series tied 3-3 will be a game 7. Dave, real quick, who do you like in that game 7?
I'll be honest, usually game 7, I just go with whoever has best player, which would be Giannis, but in this case, I really just want to say Celtics because I want to see a Boston 76ers series. Literally, the game threads are just straight up cancer. It will be the worst crowds of the best crowds. It's just that's all I'm looking for.
I will change it. The team with the best weapon wins the series. Brad Stevens is the best weapon.
I think Brad Stevens outweighs Giannis.
Victor says Panthers should take either a wide receiver or cornerback. Luckily, two great guys, Calvin Ridley, first-round talent, and Josh Jackson, are on the board that they can go with.
I think you can't go wrong. I think either way, Carolina should be happy with either of these guys. Carolina's
in a prime spot right now. Buzzweed's going to bed. Have a good night. Got to be up at 3:30 a.m. See you, Buzzweed, and stay tuned to Most Valuable Podcast. Again, don't forget to subscribe if you're a Bears fan. Subscribe to our channel. We have Chicago content coming out from the Outcast, Buzz, and Juice. They just recorded a podcast. They'll be talking Bears draft. You don't want to miss that. Whether that's going to be coming out tomorrow, it's going to be coming out some point at this week. So definitely stay tuned for the Outcast recap. Brandon, you thought you had the inside track, but he was there.
What if it's a trade up from 31 to 20?
But they don't have that third round pick. So that's the one thing. Is they can
go
possibly move a fourth. I just don't see the Patriots.
4 for 6.
This is the Patriots. I don't think they're going to move up to take somebody.
If it hits, it hits.
If he falls to 31, they're going to take him.
If
at 31.
he dies, he dies.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Let's see. Panthers need a wide receiver, but I don't think the wide receivers in this class draft fit Cam Newton. Thoughts?
What?
Amazement said.
I heard him. I'm just trying to think fit Cam Newton. What do you mean? Because Cam's worked with mostly larger wide receivers up to this point. Big targets are his friend. He is definitely not the most accurate quarterback in the world. He likes to whip the ball around.
So they're saying since there's more slot guys instead of outside guys.
But
I mean, DJ Moore's big and Cortland Sutton's fairly big.
I think I would still say even with that, and that's a valid point. I didn't until you mentioned it. I didn't start thinking about it, but I'm still leaning towards. Sorry, it's water like ginger ale. That's about it. All right,
that's all I was looking for.
We good. Yeah, I think Ridley doesn't fit the mold of maybe what you guys have done so far, but I don't know that's necessarily a bad thing. I think adding someone who is a consistent route runner with good hands and is a smart player, I think that would actually probably add more value than another big target who has high upside, but at the same time doesn't deliver consistently. Your offense is very boom or bust at times, so using
using Christian McCaffrey as basically your slot receiver, yes, has been successful to some extent, but at the same time, those 2-3 yard chip away at people, like you can get better chunks with Calvin Ridley and still use Christian.
So NFL ESPN just popped the screen up. No wide receiver taken in the top 20, first time since 2012. Dave, let's look at that 2012 draft class of wide receivers in the first round. At 22, the Denver Broncos select Demaryius Thomas. Then at 24, the Cowboys select Dez Bryant. So the two guys that ended up going in the first round were Pro Bowlers and All Pros. So again, Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore, guys that could still have a ton of potential. And the Panthers, like Dave was mentioning, with the whole fit, I think Cortland Sutton's probably the best fit. Actually, I think DJ Moore might be the best fit with Cam. But again, if we're talking about solid players, they go after and get a guy like Christian McCaffrey last year. I think they can go after and get a solid player in Calvin Ridley. And Goodell is announcing the pick, and they go DJ Moore out of Maryland. Again, a big body guy, a kid that's super fast. I think he ran a 4.3, if I remember correctly.
We'll find out in a sec, I'm sure.
Didn't produce crazily at Maryland, but the last Maryland wide receiver that I know of is Stephon Diggs. And that kid was slept on, and he is now a top wide receiver in the NFL. So DJ Moore now going to the Panthers. I think, again, like Amazement said, you need a wide receiver that fits Cam Newton, and like I mentioned, I think DJ Moore.
210.
I think DJ Moore probably is the best fit out of the wide receivers in this class for Cam Newton. So they go out and get him.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know that he's not even that big. He's 6 foot. He's not like a 6'3" guy.
No, he's not like Kelvin Benjamin.
I mean, he does play above his size, but still in pretty good hands. Pretty good hands.
He's not a Devin Funchess. I know it's Funchess. Funches or Kelvin Benjamin guy, but they still do have Greg Olsen. They just re-upped him for a 2-year deal. And DJ Moore, shifty kid, and adding his speed along with Christian, it's gonna be
offensive weapons.
Dope. I think he's more explosive, and again they're looking for playmakers. And I guess they're just thinking Calvin Ridley is just more of a guy that's a little bit well-rounded, but less of a playmaker. So. Congrats to DJ Moore. He's already got a brand. Look at that.
He does. Wow, repping.
Already has a logo. Congrats to
That's
DJ Moore's logo. And just to throw it out there, first time since 2012, no wide receiver goes in the top 20. DJ Moore's first wide receiver to go at 24 in that 2010 draft. Dez Bryant went 24th overall. So is DJ Moore the next Dez Bryant? We don't know.
Please don't start that shit.
I'm just throwing it out there.
To be fair, look at the rest of that draft. Dexter McCluster, Aurelius Ben out of Illinois.
Yeah, remember him? Played for Tampa?
Yeah.
He was a first-round pick, right?
Second. He was two, along with Golden Tate, who is still the bomb.
Oh, yeah.
Love Golden Tate.
Golden Tate.
Damian Williams out of USC won top of the third, but he was dumpster.
So Amazement said Cam isn't accurate, so he fits better with speedy guys like Ted Ginn or bigger guys with wider range. DJ Moore is kind of a blend. I mean, I don't. He's not Ted Ginn's speed. I don't know. I'll be honest with you.
You got a wide receiver. I agree. It's the right move. Good pick. I don't necessarily know that I like DJ Moore more than.
Let's say this.
Yeah.
I think this is the biggest reach now. Okay.
Really?
I think that they could have probably moved back and still gotten DJ Moore. I think, especially with Calvin Ridley still on the board. I think this is probably the biggest reach. I don't think there have been bad picks, really per se.
Pittsburgh trading Martavis Bryant, do you feel like they go wide receiver though?
I think someone mentioned that in the chat actually. Let's see. Jamie said, watch the Steelers steal Action Jackson. Victor said Steelers traded Martavis, so I think they will go wide receiver. I think it's a possibility.
I mean, Juju came on really well for them last year.
But that's the thing is they have Antonio Bryant.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown.
Dave. It's okay.
Yeah, Antonio Brown and Juju.
Yeah,
So I don't think wide receivers are a pressing need. They just lost the core of their defense and Ryan Shazier.
I am starving, Sean.
I think that's the biggest thing. We can get food after this.
That's a good idea.
But I think that's the thing is they need help defensively. The Steelers do, and they don't really need that wide receiver help. I think honestly, it's probably more likely that they go quarterback over wide receiver.
All right.
Because also Martinez Bryant didn't play for them last year. Like he played like 5 games because he was pissed off the GM, just wasn't happy. Let's see. I feel like any team, and this is from Victor, I feel like any team in the rest of the first round other than the Pats could take a wide receiver. That's pretty fair. Maybe not Atlanta.
Atlanta.
With obviously having Julio there and having former Bengals guy. Come on, you know his name, Dave. I know they got rid of Taylor Gabriel because he's now a Bear. Mohamed Sanu, Bengal guy. They still have Mohamed Sanu. They still have Julio. So I don't know if wide receiver is a pressing need for Atlanta. More of a pressing need for them is defensive tackle. Taven Bryan is still out there, so I really like Taven Bryan.
That fit seems
to Atlanta. Good. The biggest thing though is Harold Landry still on the board. I think the way this is going to fall out, Baltimore is going to go Calvin Ridley, at 25 here. 26, Atlanta's going to go Taven Bryan. 27, Seattle is going to go Harold Landry. And then 28.
That worked out well, dropping back.
It really did for Seattle. 28, that's where the Pittsburgh comes in, and it's really, are they going to start planning for Big Ben, or are they going to try to address that defense?
The man who almost retired already.
Yeah.
That's the scary part, is Big Ben, while his body has lived up to a hell of a beating in the NFL, is it time to get ready? But you have the 3 Bs, man. How do you walk away from being one of the best teams? Unfortunately, your best running back is probably not going to be back next year. Yeah. You have a fantastic wide receiver in Antonio Brown, but he's just one man. Mm-hmm. So Big Ben at the end of his career, I don't know, man. You're at the end where you're competing for a championship, but at the same time, do you sacrifice your future?
Le'Veon Bell also isn't a for-sure mainstay in that Pittsburgh team because he is not happy with his contract. Yeah. We don't know if Pittsburgh wants to take him.
Are you thinking Geis?
Maybe.
Geis?
I don't think they will because I think they can probably go a little bit later, and they also have James Conner.
They pick up Sonny Michel and
I think, and they drafted James Conner from Pitt last year. But he's playing behind Le'Veon Bell. We don't know what he's going to do in a starting role, so we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
Steelers are going to find those wide receiver gems. I agree with that. I don't think they're going to go wide receiver now. We'll see what happens though. Amazement asked best player available in your mind.
I think it's between Ridley and Bryan. It's one of the two in my mind. I think having different needs for that, it's purely need at this point. Like, I don't think either one of them is so far above the other talent-wise in their position that it means that they're the best available. I think the difference is about even.
I think it's Lamar Action Jackson, and I think it's also...
we are a freaking... You're dreaming for a pick for yourself.
I think it's Lamar Action Jackson. I think it's Harold Landry. I love Harold Landry. And then also, I love Josh Jackson. And the fact that he hasn't been taken is kind of surprising. Baltimore could be a team that goes after Josh Jackson as well.
Is it because his game is so narrow that, like, yes, he's a ball hawk, but at the same time, if he doesn't get physical with people, like, are there questions? Is that kind of the reason that we're seeing him drop, or is it just kind of the lack of standout corners right now?
I think it's just more of these teams don't really need corners. The way that we've been seeing it, I mean, we haven't really... I think that's where Seattle's going to come and play with this cornerback need. I also think Baltimore can go with them. So
yeah,
I think
that place cleared out.
Yeah, it did. The one thing too, though, we still have 28 people watching us. So
nice.
Everyone in there...
We did not, though.
No, we did not tip, and we're 25 picks in. So you guys absolutely rock. I think we've been streaming for over an hour now, well over an hour. You guys rock. And Baltimore goes Hayden Hurst, tight end out of South Carolina. Oh, boy. They go with Hayden Hurst, tight end. They haven't had a healthy tight end in my whole life, I think. Dennis Pitta was a monster when healthy for his first 3 games. And you also look at Ben Watson. Ben Watson was great when he was healthy, but never was. So they go out and get Joe Flacco a weapon in tight end. We mentioned that Calvin Ridley could be a guy that they attack. Hayden Hurst is a guy that's not your prototypical tight end. He's big like a tight end, but he's a pretty quick guy on the outside. So I can see them definitely using him in interesting packages. They also have Max Williams, 2 X's by the way, for Minnesota. He was tagged as the next Gronk. Hayden Hurst now getting compared to Thor.
That's good. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a crazy pick. We knew that tight ends were going to have a run at some point. And Baltimore going out and getting a position of need And again, looking at wide receivers, they did make additions. They got Crabtree. So again, I think this is a good pick. At some point, the tight ends were going to go. This could possibly be seen as a reach, but you're still taking what in your mind is the best tight end in this draft. I am more of a what's his face? Gesicki from Penn State guy. Myself, but Hayden Hurst, really quick guy. We see him run some pop passes here. So Hayden Hurst is now a Baltimore Raven.
Yeah, no, I think it's fine. I love the don't want to go to my fan live stream, too much fans whining. All I'm going to hear is Derwin whining.
Lisa E. joining us. Hi, Lisa. She asks, hopefully, what do you think of Mayfield pick?
Shit.
We've been talking a little bit about Baker, but we haven't talked about him in a while.
Yeah.
In my mind, second Ravens tight end in the first round since Todd Heap. Todd Heap was a monster, but again, his career was cut short by injuries. My thoughts of the Baker pick, again, I can't trash taking guys who are first-round talents. I think Baker Mayfield is first-round talent, especially quarterbacks. If you love a guy and he's a quarterback, you have to take him. I personally think that it was a reach. I don't think he should have gone number 1 overall. I don't think he would have been my pick if I was picking number 1 overall. I do like his attitude in the way that he thinks he's the best. I also love his feelings of wanting to change Cleveland. I really appreciate that from Baker Mayfield, but also the immaturity definitely sticks out. Not wanting to learn the Chargers playbook. Obviously, the running with the cops, the nut grabs on the sideline. I know people are saying, "Oh, that's just childish. That's stuff that he can grow out of." But again, if he's being picked number 1 overall, why would he have to? He's being granted with bonuses. He's being granted with positives in life. You act like this, you're going to be the number 1 overall pick. So why do I need to change? Again, I think talent on the field is there. Baker Mayfield has the ability to be a franchise quarterback and has the ability to take the Browns to the playoffs. It's just my questions about immaturity, and also you have an immature coach in Hugh Jackson. That's a problem. I don't know if they're going to be a good pair, and that's going to be a big thing, because if Baker struggles his first year, it's going to weigh heavily on him because he's seen as the savior. And then again, though, you could also say they already have Tyrod Taylor, so he might not play in the first year. This might be a pick from John Dorsey where, hey, you're going to play with Tyrod Taylor, Hugh Jackson. If you lose, we're kicking you out. We're bringing in somebody like a John DeFlippio or some of these bright-minded offensive coaches to take over, and Baker will play. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Baker Mayfield and the Tyrod Taylor situation. Again, if you love a guy, go out and get him. I just think his immaturity really wasn't the right fit for a number 1 overall pick.
Especially for a franchise like the Browns, who have struggled with quarterbacks for the last 20 years. So, all in all, I think the kid can play. It's just a question of fit on the field, and if he keeps his maturity level up and doesn't act like an idiot. But I like the player. I think Baker's awesome.
And then
4-3.
Real quick.
4-3.
Lisa E saying Browns should have traded down to 5 or 6 to get Ward. The thing is, though, is
I agree.
Why would
move up though?
Yeah, why would the Broncos want to trade up to get and Falcons select Calvin Ridley?
There it is.
Wide receiver out of Alabama, second wide receiver.
Shit.
Sorry, second wide receiver goes off the board. The first wide receiver, in my opinion. Not going too far from Georgia to Alabama. Calvin Ridley just won a national championship in that dome in Atlanta. So, I think that's an awesome pick for Atlanta. Julio Jones deals a lot with health issues. He's not been consistently out on the field.
But obviously, when he is out there, he is a monster.
Obviously, we know what that former Alabama wide receiver has done in Atlanta. I really like this pick. Again, you're just giving more weapons to Matty Ice. And that offense struggled a bit last year.
They definitely took a step back from their Super Bowl form.
Exactly. So giving him another weapon, it's really something that's gonna help out this team. So we'll see what Atlanta does. Also, they're gonna be competing with the Rams, who bolstered their defense. Eagles had a great defense. Vikings had a great defense. You have to be able to attack that. They go out and get Calvin Ridley. Again, I think Taven Bryan was a nice pick there, probably more of a need, but Calvin Ridley, the talent was there. So that's why you can't pass him up.
Super smart wide receiver, great hands, knows exactly what he needs to do to get open. Good body control when going up for the ball. I think one of those underrated aspects about him is probably his body control when going and fighting for those jump balls. Doesn't happen often because, like I said, he's an excellent route runner and able to get himself open. But at the same time, like, this kid is probably one of the best people to pair with Julio Jones. Like, I feel bad for corners who have to deal with both of those guys at the same time. And then you toss in, like you said, Mohamed Sanu out there still. So, yeah, the Falcons' offense should get back on track now. I have full confidence in that.
Amazement asked about the tight end that ran a 4.3. I think you're thinking of Gesicki, who ran a 4.5. I think that was the quickest tight end result this year. That's the guy I like, tight end out of Penn State. He was my favorite tight end. Ravens just went with Hayden Hurst, the tight end at 25 from South Carolina. Will anyone trade to get Landry in the first round? I don't think so, because I think Seattle goes with him right now at 27. So I think his potential is unreal. And if he falls to the second round, my lord, that's going to be Miles Jack-esque stealing. Or right? Because he went second round, right? Wasn't Miles Jack 36 overall? It's going to be Miles Jack-esque stealing. Right there. Pit break, Pats make big something, Lamar not getting in pick. Brandon, I don't know what that means.
Words were there. You know.
Are Pats going to draft Jackson? Former Foreskinner says. Thank you, former Foreskinner. Are Pats going to draft Jackson?
You just read everything, don't you?
I don't care. It's a live stream. We swear on every podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Saying Foreskinner.
Second round, pick 36. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Miles Jack.
Yeah, Miles Jack was a second round pick. So I think if Harold Landry falls in the second round, that's a steal. Also, if he's there at 31 and the Pats go Harold Landry over Lamar Jackson,
Then Sean's going to freak out.
I was about to say I'd be happy.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I just said the two best players available are Harold Landry and Lamar Jackson. The two spots that we need to, a spot that we need to address more is pass rush. Go get Harold Landry. I don't have a problem with that.
Same time, you've been drooling over.
But you also have the ammo in the second round, if he falls to the second round, to trade up and get Lamar Jackson. So, something to think about. Are the Pats going to draft Jackson? Whether Josh or Lamar, I'm not sure. It's going to definitely depend how the next 4 picks plan out. Wow, Julio and Ridley. Okay, we got to address secondary.
Yes, you do.
Bucks need to watch out. But hey, you got some pressure now.
That's just
you can at least pressure Matt Ryan. Landry to Seahawks, I think so. Former Foreskinner said LMAO. How do you think of Rosen falling to 10? Lisa asking.
Ideal fit. I say he lucked out. He definitely lucked out going to Arizona. As far as him falling, I don't know how far necessarily the fall was, because the way things broke down with Baker going 1, and then the Giants passing out a quarterback really sort of set the tone. So I think that we expect him to go anywhere from, really, I could see him as falling if there were no trades as far as 15. But at the end of the day, like, the value is there. He's still the most NFL-rated quarterback. He still has a ton of talent, good body size, smart guy, just a little rough around the edges personality-wise, rubs people the wrong way. I think that, honestly, with the controversy around Josh Allen, I was surprised to see him go ahead of Josh Rosen, but I think I still don't get that. I just don't like Josh Allen better than Rosen.
I think at least with the controversy
of
Josh Allen, he was young and it seemed like a pre-planned attack. So I think that's why
the timing of the release. Yeah.
So again, I am not a fan of Josh Allen as a prospect. If he's going to be sitting for a couple of years, I think he could definitely turn into something. I mean, you can't deny his arm strength. He's got the biggest arm in the draft. I just question if he will be able to be an NFL quarterback, if he'll be able to make those reads, and he's not accurate. So he can't be accurate. He can't be completing less than 57% of your passes in college, not dominating big sky competition, and then also you're not throwing the ball down the field. His average yard attempt per pass was 6.6. So I mean he's incompleting short yardage passes most of the time. So that's the biggest concern. And also against big competition, Allen was not there. Rosen showed up at Texas A&M game. Go watch it. Unreal performance from Josh Rosen. Didn't have an imperfection on his stat line. I love Josh Rosen. I think he's the best quarterback in this draft. I don't think he was the best fit for Cleveland, number 1. But I do think he was the best quarterback in this draft. I think Arizona got an absolute steal. Let's go over to the comments, though. Most shocking pick so far.
Probably Baker to the Browns a shocker.
I'd probably say Baker to the Browns too. Outside of that, nothing too shocking in the top 10.
Everything was very fit over value, which I'm glad people
Yes.
are just starting to ignore. Like, again, first round value is something that I like. Todd McShay basically made up. You know, can we just admit that? Like him, Mel Kiper, we all know what they do, and it's super entertaining, and it's out there for the media, for picks, for attention, for our entertainment. But at the end of the day, like these scouts know talent, and if it fits their team, it doesn't matter where they're mocked at. Like Denzel Ward for me, was
Denzel
like, this
Ward
is
was
the
a
guy who
shock,
went
too.
4. But I think he was mocked anywhere, like Sean said, from 5 to 10, 5 to 12. So at the end of the day, him going 4 is not the end of the earth, but at the same time, I thought the Browns had bigger needs and could have addressed them there. But outside of him,
I'll say Isaiah Wynn to the Patriots.
that was just your reaction. Was just fantastic.
I think it was more of a shock because, not because he didn't deserve to go 23. I just thought he would have. I just didn't think he was going to be a Patriot pick.
Okay.
So I think it was really the team that shocked me there. Jair Alexander was a little bit shocking to the Packers, but I like their move of moving back, getting ammo, and then moving back up.
Yeah, that one caught us off guard because I read into the slide in front of the Cowboys as like a direct dig at wide receiver, and they just completely went the other way with it. So
Derwin James going to the Chargers, also big shock to me. I thought he would have gone before. Also, the Raiders taking Colton Miller. That's the biggest reach.
okay.
Probably Baker to the Browns is a shocker. We said that.
Yeah.
Although the rumors were out all day, Browns getting him. I thought that was a smoke screen. Did you believe that?
I actually did. As soon as Vegas changed the odds, Vegas knows their shit. That's sadly who I trust.
Jamie asked, will we guys doing a live stream for the NBA draft?
Yes, we will.
And we'll be wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
We Hawaiian out. We do a luau. It's fantastic.
Goodwill never gets cheered unless you rolled out on stage in a wheelchair. So good out.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's pretty true. You can't boo a kid in a wheelchair.
Yeah, no. They did boo like the greats from the Cowboys.
They booed Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
They booed
I forget who else was in that group.
Witten.
Jesus.
Jason Witten. I forget the other person that was. Staubach. They
Rashad
booed
Penny.
Roger Staubach.
They took a running back not named Geis.
Wow. Rashad Penny from
not-
San Diego State goes before Darius Geis.
And before Sonny Michel, and before
Ronald Jones,
Chubb.
But that's not to take away from Rashad Penny.
No.
Because this kid is a stud.
Yeah.
His bowl game ran over for 200 yards. This kid at San Diego State is
You
a
just truck stick that kid?
beast. I honestly think that Rashad Penny, this isn't too shocking to me because I think that people, again, didn't have enough eyes on him because he was at San Diego State.
Yeah.
But he dominated. Don't get that wrong. That kid dominated every single game he played in. Rashad Penny was an absolute stud. Right now they're showing a kickoff return from, I think against Cal.
He gives you value there too.
That rule might be erased, but again, it just shows his explosiveness. And again, about the Seahawks, they have not had an explosive running back really since Sean Alexander.
Are you forgetting about the Beast Quake?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Marshawn Lynch just happening and then creating the loudest movement in like.
Lo siento, Marshawn Lynch.
My D.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. So they haven't had an explosive running back since Marshawn Lynch.
I think to go to the first round is surprising. I agree. I think I saw Geis. But at the same time, I also we joked around about the Seahawks. Should they take a cornerback in Josh Jackson? Probably, but that's not what they do. They don't take corners in round 1. They go for the longer guys. They go for guys who fit size-wise, and they fit them in.
I think what Seattle was probably doing, though, was trying to wait for a call for someone to trade to get that 27th pick. To probably drop back again, get more picks, because they probably wanted Penny in the second round.
Yeah.
But they probably didn't have a trade option. Penny was still their best player. That's probably what they went with.
Yeah.
I think it's shocking that they had Penny over Geis. But, again, Geis, with the stuff coming out that he lied at the combine, they might take that into
Can you
character's
go
concerns.
a little bit deeper on that? Because I only heard he lied at the combine. I didn't know the context.
Well, so it came out after the combine that he said that teams were asking him whether he likes men, whether he's gay, and that came out. They said that, so they investigated, and then it came out that no team asked him that at all. So he fabricated that. So whether it was because and he said those remarks on a radio show. So whether it was because he got caught up in the moment, wanted to say something funny, he did create a little bit of a stir where it was big because teams aren't allowed to ask that about to players. So the fact that that was thrown out there, people started investigating, and then came out that it was not true. So maybe character concerns are coming from Geis. I still think he's the best second best running back in the draft, but. Again, the Seahawks are typically pretty good talent evaluators, so, I mean, they had their guy and they went with him. I still think they were trying to trade back, though.
Probably.
Could be Falk type draft,
Falk.
Same school, Falk.
Marshall. Is it San Diego State?
Same school, I think it's, no. Was it?
Was it Marshall? I think you might be right. I
don't think I was alive. I wasn't.
You
Marshall,
weren't.
Marshall Falk was 1984 draft. He's only 45 years old.
He still got it.
Yeah, he went to San Diego State.
There you go. Nice
Yeah.
call. Same type of runner. I don't know about that.
No, Marshall Falk was.
He had hands, though.
He had hands, and he was also more shifty.
Yeah. Not saying Penny doesn't have hands, but like
Penny's
Marshall
more
Falk was like wide receiver quality hands.
Oh yeah, he was.
he was
Like Christian McCaffrey before Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, sure, I'll give you that.
He was like Matt Forte.
All
Before
right.
Matt Forte,
All
but
right.
much better.
Yeah, a much better version of Matt Forte for those people who are younger.
Because one's going to the Hall of Fame, one's in the Hall of Very Good.
I hate you.
What?
No, because that phrase and Bears players is synonymous.
Well, it's my favorite baseball player of all time is Mark Burley, and he's in the Hall of Very Good.
Oh my God,
He's in
no.
the Hall of Very Good. He
could pitch 200 innings this year.
Yeah, he ate up innings, 214 straight seasons. The pick is in for the Steelers, by the way.
And he's efficient as hell.
No hitter, perfect game.
Some of the best highlights out there.
Yeah, the only thing though is he wasn't really the best pitcher ever,
No.
or the best pitcher ever in a span in his time in the MLB.
Yeah.
I think only got one Cy Young vote throughout his career. I'm not gonna start talking about Mark Burley.
But the man could knock out a game in 2 hours or less every single time, like clockwork.
Bryce
Matt
Sullivan coming in. Jags should take Jackson. I believe he's referring to Lamar.
Oh, no.
Jackson.
You can't.
Hold on, real quick. Jacksonville doesn't have a lot of needs. So
They're a team that literally was just in the deep playoff run, and you want them to get a new quarterback?
but is Blake Bortles the guy?
Oh, man,
See?
that's awkward, because I wanted
That's
to
not
yes, but I don't.
And Blake Bortles will still be under contract next year. Give him some competition. And Lamar Jackson needs to
No,
develop.
I would go Josh if I were them. Actually, I don't even know if I would. No, I wouldn't go corner. Who am I kidding?
The Steelers.
We're waiting.
I think he's reading something
He
off right
is.
now because they're not saying anything about the
Yeah,
pick.
I'm really annoyed.
How much am I shitting on the pants right now? Not much. Could you guys see the Giants making the playoffs next year? Weirdly, yes,
Yeah,
but probably
it's Eli.
not.
Like, they have the biggest swing.
Well, the only thing is that that's why Ryan Shazier's making the pick.
That's awesome
That's
to see
awesome.
him walking. Truly one of the scariest live injuries that you could see on TV.
I love Ryan Shazier. Well, I mean, it's a tragedy to see what happens, and I don't mean this in the wrong way, Steeler fans and people out there. I hope he does not play again,
Yeah.
because with the injury that he had, I hope he lives a very long and fruitful life. And I think playing football with how dangerous it could be a very serious mistake for him. And the fact that he's walking is a true miracle. And that injury happened 6 months ago, and he's still struggling. I hope he does his best to recover and becomes a great human being, because he already is. He does so much in the community.
Yeah, he is. He's Walter Payton Award winner, I think, for the Steelers.
And Terrell Edmonds, Tremaine
Ooh.
Edmonds' brother goes. There you go. Look at that. They needed some secondary help. So
Interesting.
I don't hate the pick there for the Steelers. I think that is a very sleeper of a pick though, because nobody had that guy in this first round. But the Steelers definitely did need safety help. So Terrell Edmonds, brother of Tremaine, from Virginia Tech safety, is now a Steeler. So congrats to him. Awesome to see Shazier out there as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's good that Shazier's up and walking. I sort of agree with your sentiments about him hopefully not going back to the game of football. Like, he can still be a face and a force in the community, and even around the team. But I don't know that I'd feel comfortable with him playing again.
Yeah,
It's kind of like Chris Bosh. Like, I don't want Chris Bosh to die on the court.
Exactly.
I just don't.
Exactly.
So-
I mean, Ryan Shazier he's a great human being. Like,
Yep.
there's nothing ever come out negative about him. He does a ton of charity work. I just want to see him. I think he'd be a super positive force for football and the NFL to have. And to lose him, especially on a football field, would be horrible. But that's not a question right now. He's still trying to recover from his injury.
Yep.
And Terrell Edmonds celebrating getting picked in the first round, just like his brother Tremaine. So congrats to them.
Cool story. Steelers probably going to go quarterback late in the draft then.
They're
Probably.
both going to be in the AFC as well.
Ooh.
Bills and Steelers. Look up and see if they play. We'll see the Edmond brothers playing. Let's see though. I thought Josh Jackson was going to go top 15, top 20, but he is still waiting. I agree with that. However, I would be very shocked if he slips past Minnesota at 30. They would take Rudolph if they take anybody. The Steelers, thoughts?
Rudolph? to
Mason?
the Steelers? Oh,
I don't know if they're gonna have a pick early enough to select him.
no. Although at this point, I mean,
I see Mason being drafted in the second round. I don't know where
Yeah.
though, because Lamar Jackson hasn't gone. So I mean,
Dang.
that's gonna change everything if Lamar Jackson's still available day 2.
yeah.
Right.
They don't play. Not year one.
Real quick.
Real quick.
Cleveland has how many second round picks?
I don't know. Handful of them.
What if Cleveland goes Lamar Jackson?
Just fucks with people.
Yeah. What if they take a project? Like a little RG3 Kirk Cousins mix.
I like it. I mean, I said they'd do it 1-4 though. I was being bold about it.
Oh, the picks are in for Jacksonville. What the hell?
Ooh, Jacksonville know what they're doing. Which means we are just 2 picks away.
We're only 4 picks away from being done.
Wow.
So that's crazy. This draft has flown by.
I think there was just a lot of drama in this pick. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I don't know, Jags though. You think they're potentially changing things up at the quarterback position, bringing some drama, controversy, and competition?
Well,
I think they just try to add to this team because they had a damn good run last year,
Mhm.
and I think it's the steps they took to get here are easily repeated next year.
Courtland Sutton, possible pick here.
They did lose all of their wide receivers, basically.
Outside of Marquise Lee, still on the team. Courtland Sutton could be a pick here. Let's see. Where do you see Mason being drafted? Second round.
They picked up Moncrief. I forgot about that.
I don't. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
They got Dante Moncrief.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice pickup.
Still not enough.
The Jags would take Rudolph instead of Jackson. I see that fit better, but Jackson's a better player. So I see where you're coming from. Geist to the Browns. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting if they get Darius Geist.
I think that works out.
Pair him with Carlos Hyde. Oh, boy.
Yep.
You got a physical runner and a shifty, quick guy and Darius Geist. My lord.
I think that. So that,
Could you imagine that, though?
might help
Denzel Ward, Baker Mayfield, and Darius Geist is your 1, 2, 3. Disgusting.
You say that, but they're still the Browns. They'll find a way to fuck it up.
True.
Not to shit talk the Browns much, but
And this is the first time brothers have been selected in the the same draft.
That's
Congrats to
awesome.
the Edmond brothers.
that is an awesome story.
The cool thing, too, is I don't think they're twins.
No. Age-wise, aren't they a year apart?
Probably because I think Terrell was a senior. Tremaine was only 19, so he's a junior coming out.
Okay.
We got 33.
Somebody will spot check us.
Oh, Jags took Brian. David.
Oh.
So I like that pick.
Okay. That'll work.
Sorry if I was loud there. Just plugging in Dave's phone so we don't die. But yeah, no, I like that pick. I don't, real quick, I'm not a fan of the Steelers pick, by the way. I understand that they need secondary help. I think that's a complete reach. I don't think Edmonds was a first-round pick. Whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin Shazier's moment or the brothers' moment as well. I think it's a total reach. They should have went Josh Jackson. They're saying Taven Bryan is now a Jag, though. So they did have Calais Campbell as DT, but Calais Campbell's also like 39 years old. So if they they stick in the state of Florida going Taven Bryan, it makes sense. Pretty much just a backup plan.
Fill that in. You continue on the excellence in that role. I'm good with that. And like I said, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. This is a successful team. There it is. Taven Bryan officially called. Dang. That big boy can move. But yeah. former Navy SEAL of a father and firefighter. Some good genes.
Yeah. Wyoming Wildman. Nice. Taven Bryan, though, is now a Jacksonville Jaguar. Makes sense in some ways. I mean,
grew up in Wyoming, go to Florida.
Wouldn't you want to get out of Wyoming?
I mean, Josh Allen plays there.
Yeah,
so that's
good.
why I'm like,
who cares?
I'm a little confused, you know?
Where would you rather live, Wyoming or Florida?
My God, no offense, Wyoming people, can you enlighten me on what is there to do out in Wyoming? Like, I don't know what I
mean,
would
also,
do.
what's out there doing Gainesville, Florida?
It's still Florida. You got a lot.
It's nice out. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't get to freezing. But Gator Chomp, pretty baller. I like the pick. I think there's, you don't have to go too in depth about it just because it's fitting the need for the team,
and it's also probably BPA in their minds.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at, it's either Josh Jackson, Taven Bryan, or Lamar Jackson, one of the best players. Oh, and Harold Landry, still on the board.
Harold Landry, you are shocked by.
Those four guys are the best players on the board. So you pick one of the best four. I mean, you can't.
Do you think
crap
Minnesota takes Landry here?
I don't think they go edge rusher. I think they go corner.
Joshua Jackson.
We keep yelling his name, but I don't know.
I mean, that's a
Landry,
big story
Jackson.
to follow. Is all these sliding players: Josh Jackson, Harold Landry, Lamar Jackson.
Those three guys are graded mid-first round talents.
I don't think all these guys are getting taken too. So one of those guys that we just mentioned, they're gonna be
Second
round picks.
Likely.
We have 39 people watching. What
That's
the
awesome.
hell?
I love
you guys
that.
are
We're
awesome.
going up, yeah.
We're going up. We haven't dipped. You guys rock. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Also hit the like button if you haven't. We're waiting on the Minnesota Vikings pick. We'll see if Ricky's going to be a happy boy or not. I think he'll be happy with the Josh Jackson pick. Trey Waynes is on the team. Xavier Rhodes, one of the best corners in the NFL, is on the team. But Trey Waynes hasn't been great, and his contract is coming up soon. So adding depth after Trey Waynes is pretty much the idea. Because Minnesota, I mean,
You could add wide receiver help.
you could add wide receiver help, but you also have two great wide receivers. You have a very reliable tight end in Kyle Rudolph. You have a very young running back in the first round
Dalvin Cook.
in Dalvin Cook. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes back from that injury.
You mentioned earlier they picked up Riley Reef for that O-line.
Yes. The O-line was much better this year. They might look to add a little bit of help. Will Hernandez still on the board. That defense is super solid. Anthony Barr, though, coming off a contract soon. There's a lot of contract needs coming up. So I think that's the one thing that you're going to look at. That's why I think they're looking corner. It's going to be much easier to replace Josh Jackson, who I think is a better player than Trey Waynes. You won't have to pay him the same amount of money, and you'll be able to keep that great secondary of Xavier Rhodes and a Trey Waynes or a Josh Jackson. Pick is in. I think it's going to be Josh Jackson.
All right, we shall see.
Yeah, Mike Hughes option, Isaiah Oliver from Colorado an option. I just love Josh Jackson.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Giants get Lamar Jackson in the second round.
That's a possibility.
DC Buchanan, like that is, or Bunyan. I'm sorry, DC Bunyan. That's terrifying to think about.
But it's how does he fit in the Shermer offense?
He doesn't right now. He does not right now. But to be fair, it's not like Eli's played very well last year in it.
But I mean, Shermer wasn't in the. He wasn't
Oh,
in the
you're right.
offense.
You're right.
Mike Hughes.
There he goes.
Told you, cornerback.
Josh Jackson continues to fall.
I think
Mike Hughes, I think is a better cover. I think he's a better cover corner.
No one can hear you when you
I know.
mumble, Dave.
That's sorry. It's not like lack of like I think he's better cover corner. I get that Josh Jackson was a pick monster, but I don't know. It's still weird because I did not have him pegged to go in the first.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now because we have 2 picks left. Is Philly gonna make the pick? Are they gonna trade back? New England, are they gonna go with the quarterback, or are they gonna go with the quarterback like Isaiah Oliver, Josh Jackson, Harold Landry still on the board? Insane. Jackson should go to the Pats. I fucking hope so.
Yeah, Sean's gonna die again.
But then again, if they go Harold Landry, Isaiah Oliver, I can't complain because I really like Isaiah Oliver. Of the Jacksons fall out of the first, could he get to the Dolphins, assuming the Giants don't pick him? I will have to look at the
Order for 2.
Yeah, let me look at the draft order for 2.
Yeah, no, I think there's a chance. Honestly, like the way this is working out.
We'll talk a little bit once the Eagles pick is done. We'll talk a little bit about the second round and the players still available. But yeah, what were you saying?
No, I was just saying, like, I think there's a fair chance that we're going to see one or both of the Jacksons in the second round. I'm almost leaning towards 2, the way this is looking right now. I think New England is unlikely to go with Josh Jackson here. Or, I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson here. Josh sort of made sense, but at the same time, I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm getting this weird feeling that corner... that his stock's fallen.
Well, one thing too, if Harold Landry falls to day 2, Cleveland pairing him with Myles Garrett, my lord, insane pair. And we talked about Bradley Chubb and Myles Garrett. Again, Harold Landry, I think that, again, he's a first-round talent. I don't know, obviously not as good as Bradley Chubb.
Nope.
But I look at Harold Landry's tape, I look at his production. If people are afraid about his injury, that's a fair concern, but I think at some point some team is going to gamble on him, and if the Browns do want to gamble on him, that first pick in the second round, it'd be insane.
Yeah.
Cleveland, New York, Cleveland, then Indy, Tampa, Chicago, maybe Denver at 40 takes a shot at Lamar if the Patriots don't pick him. Miami, I think at 42 would probably splurge and take Lamar. So I could see Lamar falling to Miami at that point. I don't think Lamar Jackson is a Giant, though. I think that the Giants, if they take a quarterback, it's going to be Rudolph or Laletta. But I don't see him fitting in Pat Shurmur's offense.
I can see Rudolph fit there.
I don't see Lamar Jackson fitting in Pat Shurmur's offense.
Again, that's very much, we talked about this, it's the fit of the offensive coordinator and the system there, because honestly, Lamar Jackson is not a traditional quarterback, and while he is extremely talented and he has a ton of room to grow, you have to make sure the system is right for him in order for him to be the most successful person. Pick is in, Sean. The pick is in.
Amazement says, can we see trades early in the second round with some first-round talent still on the board? 100%. Cleveland has 2 picks at 33 and 35. Indianapolis has 2 picks as well. One of those teams can totally trade back and accumulate more picks if some team loves it. I totally see a ton of picks, trades happening in the second round.
Yeah.
Brady won't last forever. No, he won't. And they need to get a backup
maybe
quarterback.
5-6 more years tops.
I would love that. But no. Tom is not going to last forever.
Yeah. But at the same time,
he's
just playing at such an incredible level.
But it's injuries.
Do you think
And
the
it's
bomb's going to
also-
fall out all of a sudden, or do you think it's going to be a slow decline?
I don't think Tom Brady's going to decline on the field. I think Tom Brady will either get injured or he'll win a Super Bowl and retire.
Okay.
I think Tom is going to walk at the necessary moment. I don't think he's going to go out like Peyton did in that last season, even though he did win a Super Bowl. That
Right.
wasn't Peyton Manning out there. I think that the Patriots should draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. I just don't know Bill Belichick, though.
Right.
With Harold Landry on the board, I don't know. They need an edge rusher. With Josh Jackson on the board, they need a second corner. With Lamar Jackson on the board, they love him, but maybe they think with the artillery they have in the second round, they could possibly move up and get Lamar Jackson if he falls to day 2, because you're not really worried about Philly taking him at 32. Because they have 2
And
quarterbacks. They
Cleveland
have Carson Wentz.
probably won't take him.
Yeah, they've
The Giants, like we said, probably don't fit him. So, yeah, there's a chance.
but also Cleveland has 2 picks.
No, that's what, yeah.
So they might want to accumulate picks later in the second round if the Patriots do want to move up to that 33 spot. It's going to be interesting. Sonny Michel to the Pats. No way. Are you serious? Victor's been reading these tweets.
Vic's a bit out there sometimes. Oh, man. This is big for you, Sean. This is big. What if they go left field? What if they go with somebody you don't even...
Well,
like, have
Schefter
any-
just tweeted out something about players.
Ruh-roh.
No.
What?
Well, if it's true about their going Sonny Michel, I'm going to fucking punch a wall.
Wait, that was a Shefty tweet?
No, that was Victor, but Victor's
Oh.
been reading Twitter all day.
Oh, my God.
Shefty tweeted something about players that are going to be available in the second round, and Lamar Jackson's name was on it.
Shit is getting real. Loving it.
I mean, both picks are in, so I'm just gonna go on Twitter and just give them.
Both picks are in?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. You want to unmute again?
No, because it's Sonny Michel. God damn it!
Actually, inside the Pats organization, the Tom Brady has access to the fountain of youth. Thank you, Jamie.
I don't know.
Thank you, Jamie.
Again, Sonny Michel as a player, I don't dislike him, but we don't need a running back. We have Rex. We have not Dion. We have James White still. We still have Mike Gillislee. We just got Jeremy Hill. We don't need a first-round running back, Bill. My Lord.
But I mean, who's he going to play for 1 week to bust out for 215 yards and then bench and we never see him again for the rest of the year?
It's not. Jonas Gray was an undrafted running back.
No, I'm
It's not
saying
gonna
he's going to
happen.
do that to like Hill. So that's why you need
Oh.
Sonny Michel.
I don't know.
Because he's going to fuck over 2 of the running backs on his roster before the year's over.
I don't know.
You know he is. That's how he plays his running backs. I love Michelle. I love Michelle since he was a goddamn freshman. I remember talking to Ricky about him early on in his career. I know he was hurt, but he's still a super talented kid. I like the fact that... Okay, so here's the thing. My one concern is you have to keep his carries to the limit, which I'm not worried about in Belichick's system. Like, that fit is ideal for him. I think what he brings in, he's a 4-year player. He's someone who has been in big games in college. He knows how to compete at the top level. So I think fit-wise, for an organization, it's solid. I don't love the pick value.
There are more
Value-wise,
pressing needs
yes.
than a running back.
That.
Harold Landry's still on the board. Josh Jackson's still on the board. Isaiah Oliver's still on the board. You still needed to address those players. We took 2 Georgia players, and yes, Georgia was a great program, but like, come on.
Vic, you killing me.
Still going to be on the board tomorrow because apparently all the picks are in.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, Mason Rudolph, Darius Geis, Anthony Miller, the wide receiver from Memphis, DJ Chark from LSU,
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton, wide receiver from SMU, Harold Landry, the edge rusher from Boston College, Connor Williams, the offensive tackle from Texas, Sam Hubbard, Mo Hurst, the defensive tackle from Michigan. He's a friend of the Most Valuable podcast.
Yes, he
we
is.
interview him, so shout out to Mo Hurst. Josh Jackson, the cornerback from Iowa, and Isaiah Oliver, the cornerback from Colorado.
There's a lot of good talent at the top of the second round still.
Yes, there is.
The Eagles traded the pick.
Second round. Eagles trade to the Ravens. Let's
Ravens
see.
are taking someone we didn't name.
Unless Schefter pre-jacked and tweeted that out. I love what they're talking about with Sonny Michel is medical concerns.
Yep.
Why did we take him in the first round?
You got no knee.
I do this all the time, though. I get upset at a Patriot draft.
He's a good player, though, man. You shouldn't.
I know.
The value.
I don't dislike the player. I never said I dislike the player. I don't like a first round running back pick for the Patriots.
When you have so many needs.
You have 4 rostered running backs. James White, who's a great pass catcher out of the backfield.
Yep.
Rex Burkhead, who can do both things for you. Jeremy Hill, who you signed, so I doubt he's not going to make the roster. And Mike Gillislee, who you just signed last year. I don't know how good
he fell out of love with Gillislee, though.
He did fall in love with Gillislee, and again, I'm not saying, but you have 4 rostered running backs, now 5. One of those guys is going to get cut. I mean, you're not going to roster 5 running backs, but that means James White is possibly getting moved, which I would not be a fan of. I love what he brings to this Patriot organization. I'd be so deflated if we moved him and Dion. Then Rex Burkhead last year was great. When healthy, he was awesome. Mike Gillislee, I was a fan of him when we first signed him. Bill didn't turn out to be a fan of him, but then again, it doesn't mean he doesn't provide value for you. Still a good goal line back. I mean, also Jeremy Hill, you brought him in. What's the idea of bringing in Jeremy Hill just to take Sonny Michel? I don't understand.
Could just be a fuck you power play, you know?
I don't get it.
It's Bill being Bill.
I don't get it. The tension is real, LOL.
Yeah.
I have someone inside. That was the Fountain of Youth one. Jan the man's going to sleep. Bye, buddy. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Playboy Jordy said Sony, yes. Wow, Michelle, and they got Jeremy Hill too. Pats don't need him, no. Thank you, Amazement. Victor Wang, I tried not to reveal too many picks, but that one was funny. Thanks, Victor. I appreciate it. Lamar to the Ravens.
Don't.
That makes sense. If they're trading back. Unless they want Harold Landry.
Sean trying to save himself.
I hope it's Harold Landry. Because I mentioned him at their first selection. I mentioned him at their first selection. Fuck!
There it is.
God damn!
Hold it.
Son of a
I
bitch!
called it.
God damn it! Motherfucker! God
Let's
damn it!
just let's spin this shit a little bit so we can watch Sean rank.
Fuck! Why did they think? Of course they traded up to get him. Motherfucker!
You punch fucking hard.
God damn it!
I told you.
I'm sorry.
I told you they were going.
Ugh, I hate the
Offensive
Ravens. I hate the Ravens.
Offensive coordinator.
I already hate the Ravens. I already hate the Ravens. So of course they'd go up and get him. Ah!
Did they sign RG3?
Damn it! Yes, they did.
Oh my god.
This is crooked.
It's been crooked the whole night.
I think you made it crooked.
I definitely did.
Damn it!
That is amazing.
I hate the Ravens
That was worth
too.
the end of the draft. That's how you end that run. Yes.
And Schefter tweeting out, "Oh, he's gonna be available round
He teased
2."
ya. He teased ya.
Damn it! Oh, this sucks.
Oh my god.
Where's Falk going? I don't know. RG3 to teach Lamar. Maybe.
Whew.
Didn't they sign RG3 too? Yeah.
That was awesome.
Where's Falk going? Probably in the 3rd round. I don't know where the team though. I can't say. Ben says, "What's up? Hi, buddy.
I love Ben.
I love you. Thank you for coming.
Repping the WPN all day, all night.
I appreciate you, Ben, for coming. I appreciate all of you people. All 33 people. You're great. Except for Ozzie Newsome. It's your last year. Come on."
Ozzy. Great move. Oh shit, that was fun. And Schefter came in. The shit. That's fucking.
I hate the NFL draft. I was late because of a prior engagement. I was late. And I had to rush over here. I had a ton of anxiety driving. I didn't need food. I'm starving just to see the Browns go Baker Mayfield 1, which is a terrible pick in my opinion. He's the 3rd best quarterback going number 1 overall to a franchise that hasn't had a franchise quarterback since 1999. I wasn't even alive when Barney Kosar was taken to the playoffs. They haven't had a good quarterback. The last good quarterback they had was Derek Anderson. He was for 1 year. He took them to a 9-7 fucking record. And of course, he would have my last name because he's genius. Stupid pick by the Browns. You pass up Josh Rosen, even though he wasn't a fit, and you pass up the best fit for your system, which is Sam Darnold. Idiotic move. Then they take Denzel Ward at 4, which is a little bit of a reach. I don't like the pick. You give the Jets, my arch rival, Sam Darnold, the quarterback of the future, idiotic. I'm so upset about this. You go and take Isaiah Wynn. Is he a guard? Is he a tackle at 23? It's ridiculous. Then they go and take Sony Michel when they have 4 roster running backs.
Are you upset, Sean?
And the Bears took Roquan Smith, who, again, another Georgia player. Why are all my teams picking Georgia players? What is up with this? Roquan Smith at 8. Then Isaiah Wynn at 23. Then at 31, they go Sony Michel. This is ridiculous.
Sean?
Where's Lamar Jackson? Wanted a number 8 jersey.
You're just a little.
Even though that was no, Hoyer was not even wearing 8.
You're just a little upset.
God damn it.
But yeah, no, I think overall the draft nailed it. Like we had drama, we had question marks, we had intrigue, we had Sean freaking the fuck out. It had everything. It had everything. If you guys watch just any remaining questions you got, we're going to be wrapping up here before we head to the station to do our reaction for the draft with Ricky joining us. So gonna be a fun night. Have some content for you on Friday, hopefully.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank
all
you so
31
much.
people and 25 likes. If you aren't subscribed to Most Valuable Podcast, please subscribe and give us a like.
Yeah.
Okay? Thanks, guys. Amazement said, Victor Wayne said, Ravens trade 52, 125, and 2019 second rounder to the Eagles for 32 and 132. Amazement said, can I buy you a drink? Unfortunately, I cannot drink because
Not
I'm
quite
under
yet.
21.
Not quite yet.
And also, I have a medical thing that does not allow me to drink.
And
So
there's
it's
that.
real great. It's real great. I have a lot of ways to take out my anxiety and stress. I don't. I'm breaking from the inside. That's why I'm balding at 20. We should get Josh Jackson. Yeah, we should.
love
Next
CJ.
tomorrow. Victor Wing says, wow. Thanks, Vic. CJ Dombrowski says, I come in the live stream and I see Strong triggered as fuck.
Yeah.
What do you expect from me? I don't have, normal social skills, how to control my anger. It's real great. Thanks, CJ, for stopping by. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm about to smoke a blunt. This shit stressed me out. Jan the man.
I understand where you're coming from.
I understand where you're coming from. Unfortunately, I do not partake, and it's not legal. But
Where
boy,
we're-
if it was legal, maybe I'd join you. You're also about to go to bed. It's probably a nice way to go to bed. Get all relaxed, then pass out. Hope you have a great night, Jan the man. Ben said, no, you, Sean. What are you talking
We
about,
love
Ben?
each other.
Oh!
Yeah,
I love you too,
Ben, we should love.
Pat's trading. What? What are they trading? Huh, Brandon? You said they were going to get Lamar Jackson. They didn't get him. Come on. I thought you had inside sources. I thought you had neighborhood Florida guys. Huh? Come on. Come on, Brandon. I thought you were a trusted inside source.
Oh, God.
I am. I hope so. Good night, Jan.
Good night.
Have a great one.
Good night.
You guys are the best of my favorites. No, DC.
Thanks.
You're my favorite.
And yes,
You're my favorite.
Live stream moment of the night.
Jets.
Sean's rant to send up. I agree.
Jets are the best. DC,
Yes.
you are not my favorite anymore.
Gotcha.
Okay? Anyways, Brandon, hope you have a great night. Amazement, thank you for being here for all 189 of this whole live stream. Ben, thanks for showing up last minute. Trunk ending it on a great way, saying
Yeah.
Rosen steal the draft. 100% agree. Number one quarterback. Xavier, sorry, you were in here a long time. See you, bud. Peace. Have a great night. Vic
for
was
the
in here.
spoiler.
Yeah, thanks, Vic. Love you, bud. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it, man. Awesome. CJ coming in, watching me freak out. Awesome, dude. Great. Buzzweed and Juice Man were in here too.
Yeah.
Colin McSherry was in here. Love you too, bud. Ben, love you, bud. Victor's watching from Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that's awesome.
From down under.
Please don't.
Steel,
Please don't.
Steel C. Colin Cowherds. I don't get that one.
Steel C. Colin Cowherd.
Steel C. Colin Cowherds.
Steel
Maybe-
C. Colin Cowherd?
I think he probably.
Steelers?
I think he probably TV show.
Ah.
Oh, C. Colin Cowherd TV show. I watch it all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I hate watch it.
Yes.
Just like
it's
I hate
something-
watch this draft.
You can hate watch till the end.
You know, I've been saying win for 32 years. Bill makes me pull my hair. Same, Mike 2K. Why didn't Malcolm Butler start in the Super Bowl? We still don't know. He's that Titan now. We'll never know.
Why didn't he get to play in defense at all?
Oh, for 3 years. Bye, Raphael. You're in here. Have a good one.
Adios.
WPN. He's been saying WPN for 3 years. You've been
Yeah.
a loyal member, Ben, and we
Yes,
appreciate
since
you.
the OG
We see
days.
every single one, and I'm usually signed into my own personal YouTube account, so I don't really sign over to the MVP one to like your comments, but they're always loved and appreciated.
Yep.
We're gonna end it on that one. To everyone who's been in here, we have 19 people still watching. You guys rock. 29 likes. You guys rock. Why is Belichick an idiot? Well, he has 5 rings, so I don't think he's too big of an idiot. I think he has 6 rings because the one's from the Giants. Anyways. Guys, have a great night. We love you. Hopefully I wasn't too mean. See you at the NBA draft, Brandon.
Yes.
We're super excited. I already press ironing
it's gonna be good.
my Hawaiian shirt. Riley, God bless. Sorry your Celtics lost. Game 7, you got Brad Stevens on your side. For Dave Oster, I'm Sean Anderson. Follow us on Twitter at MostValuePod. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell. You get every single draft video for tomorrow. Ricky and Johnny will have an Avengers review as well. They went and saw that. We're going to go meet up with Ricky as well. Hit a like button. I think we're 1 like away from 30 likes. So if you haven't done that so far, definitely do that.
Appreciate the love.
But we also will be recording the Fast Break tomorrow night as
Hell
well.
yeah.
So we got more draft talk, more fun stuff. Brand says Skip Bayless. Maybe I'm Skip. Who knows? But anyways, for Dave Oster, I'm Sean Anderson. We're going to take off. Sorry for the rough start, but I think we had a strong
Wonderful
ending. We'll see you next time, guys. This is the awkward part where I have to turn off the live stream. It's going to take a little
Eat
bit.
some thumb right now.
Yeah, eat some thumb. I want to